Yay! Oh, I mean, I can't wave, but I'm waving in spirit.
Greetings, humanity, and welcome to the third game of Valdriant's Extra Life Actual Play Marathon. I'm Jim, I use he, him pronouns, and I'll be running this evening's game of Inspectres. It is a supernatural comedy game by Jared Sorensen about paranormal investigators. Let's go ahead and go around and say hi to everybody. We'll probably be going around clockwise. Just want to make sure I can see us here. I can't see us here. So I have that. So presumably, I hope everyone can see us right now.
We can. I see us on
Excellent.
stream.
Excellent. Good. I am entirely on Wi-Fi right now. I've had quite an adventure with my my PC this week, but I won't get into that. But let's go ahead and go around and say hi to everybody here. Was able to make it today. We will start with Nikki. If you would tell us who you are, who you're playing, and pronouns for you and your character.
Right. Hello there. I'm Nick, he, they, and I will be playing Dorian Kwan, he, him.
Awesome. And now let's head over to Imani.
Hi, I'm Imani. I will be playing LL Nightingale. She, they pronouns for both of us.
Awesome. And now over to Vivesha.
Hi, I'm Vivesha, Viv, or Vivi. Tonight I am playing Juniper Davis, and for both of us it is she, her.
Excellent. And finally over to Simon.
Hello, I'm Simon. I use he, him pronouns, and tonight I will be playing Brian, the intern, who also uses he, him.
And unfortunately, Hannah was going to be with us tonight, but could not due to real-life weather and internet trouble. We hope that all is well. But before we dive in, Extra Life is an event organized by the Children's Miracle Network Hospitals. That's the name of the organization. The donations made today are going to go to benefit kids' hospitals. September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, so it's especially needed right now. Thus far, it looks like we are at about 160 out of our goal, so that should be about 1/10 if my brain is mathing correctly. So awesome if folks can give, that would be great. And if not, tell folks. If you want to donate, there should be a link up in chat where you can type !Extra Life, and you should be able to get to that. Hopefully, he says trying it out for the first time. Yes, there it is. Awesome to see that link. Also, you can do things. You can help us with subs, which I will explain momentarily. I've got some donation incentives for this one shot also that I just want to go over, which is !Reward. I think was the one we were given, and
They all have S's at the end.
Do they have an S at the end? There it is. Excellent. Rewards with an S. Yes. And so basically, in the course of this game, and hopefully this will be communicated in some way, but if folks see it and remember, that's always good too. For a $5 pledge, $5 donation, you can give a player a reroll. For a $15 donation, you can add a die to the bank. That's a general pool that folks can take from, but there might be consequences for their using those bank dice. For $25, you can give a player a cool die, which is kind of like a special armor while they're taking stress during the game. And that can be used in that way and a couple of others. And then for $50 is the equipment tier. We can give a player an amazing item. Normally they have to roll for equipment, but this would bypass that. If there's something really awesome that you want someone to have, or you want someone to have something really awesome, we'll figure out what it is. And then finally, if you would like to go nuts and donate $100, that is going to give our scenario a little bit of a weirdness boost. All of our agents are normal agents, but with $100, you can turn one of them into a weird agent, which means that something will happen to give a PC a cool supernatural ability. We will figure out what that is at the time that it happens, if it should happen. Now, in addition to that, for the rest of this year, September through December, Valdriant is going to match subpoints with $1 donations to Extra Life. So if you subscribe to the channel, and even if you have a Prime sub you haven't used and you want to use it for this, it'll go to a good cause. But now, let us get to it. The title of our story is Clipper City Canter. It's going to be taking place in a city similar to but legally distinct from Baltimore, Maryland. There is basically, it's even called Baltimore. People will call it Baltimore. But if you happen to have been in Baltimore at any time in your life and you don't recognize the thing we do tonight, that's because it's a separate reality. It's not actually the Baltimore you know. He says, giving the standard disclaimer. What I wanted to go over before we get going, this is Inspectres. It is a national franchise that has folks who will deal with problems with the paranormal. Ghosts and vampires and werewolves and cryptids and other things exist in this world. Some people choose to ignore it. They're really more of a nuisance than anything else. And of course, no one in good society would ever admit to having a ghost problem. That's where the inspectors come in. They're the ones that you call to deal with that problem. You can send away for your own franchise packet that you can have to establish a franchise of it in your city, which you set up entirely yourself. We did a little bit of franchise building when we were sort of before we got into this, and before we introduce the characters in full, and before we get into it in full, I just wanted to confirm some details here. We were talking about having the business in a strip mall. Is that still good for folks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Strip malls are the best.
It's sort of a
sketchy strip mall.
Yeah.
Not a nice
You're
one.
talking about kind of a semi-shady location, maybe with
But they
something
can
like
be super legit.
Yeah.
Like technically,
no,
I think Rodeo Drive is a strip mall. I would qualify it as a strip mall.
It's probably legit. It's probably completely legit. But I was thinking maybe there are things nearby like a pawn shop, laundromat, things of that nature. So the buy-in for this is largely, it looks like, landing on only a couple of our agents here, who are kind of carrying the rest. Is that right?
I mean, it's a team effort.
Yeah.
Yes. But it's, as far as we know, it's just you folks, and there aren't any investors that I, the GM, need to know about.
We're struggling to
point.
get by.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. Excellent. And so I think we're good. I think I'm going to place us. He says, looking to see if he managed to throw all of the pictures he wanted into the into for reference into Roll20 for the players to look at. I think we're going to place us. It's going to be a little bit northwest of the various harbors. A little bit sort of north of of where the water comes in, kind of in the zone where you have a bunch of what some folks will affectionately refer to as the hipster population of the city. Not too close. Yeah, not near the tall buildings, but the ones that are a couple of stories, that kind of thing.
The old tall buildings.
Like Poppletown or Holland's Market or something like that.
Something along those lines, I would say, probably.
I've been to Baltimore. I've been to real Baltimore like once in my life, and it was nighttime.
Oh, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm reading names on the map.
Oh, I see. I wasn't even reading. I was just agreeing with you. But yeah, sort of in the Mount Vernon-ish area, probably.
Yeah,
the fictional Mount Vernon
is yellow, so.
Yeah.
Wait, there's a map?
Yeah, you got it.
There's some.
I threw some
map number 3.
Yeah, for the players, I threw some maps into the handouts.
In the handouts.
Yeah. So you can feel free to gaze upon those as things go around. Let me also make sure I have pulled up the secret information that I wanted to make sure I had in front of me. There it is. Okay, good. All right. I don't need much, because folks are going to discover this game is a lot of this game is very player driven, as we're all about to find out. So one of the big conceits about Inspectres is that it is also a reality show, and that is how we are going to introduce everyone before we get into our we actually get into our thing here. So this is a show that goes around to different Inspectres franchises in the country and follows them. And what happens is that they'll shoot them as they're doing stuff, and then afterwards they'll interview them. So what I'm going to tell you folks now is you can feel free to talk to the camera whenever you like during the course of this. But let me know before you do it if you want to use it as like an actual confessional. There's a confessional mechanic, because we can have only one of those per scene, and that's for the entire group. We can only do that once per scene. And it's obviously just one person doing it, but during that scene. But confessionals are interesting because they bend reality. I think what we're going to have is we have the intro come on. It's going to show the lovely shots of a lot of the lovely areas in the place that is very similar to Baltimore, and it will say upon the screen "Inspectres Baltimore" underneath it as the caption this week. And we're going to go around, and what I want to see is first there's going to be an establishing shot showing your character doing something. It can be anything you think the cameras would have captured, something related to the business, or or something adjacent to the business. And then we're going to have a brief little interview introduction where it's like in any documentary where you tell them who you are and maybe just a little bit about yourself. So who would like to go first? Or shall it be whom I call upon?
It can be Brian.
Okay.
It can definitely be Brian.
Alrighty.
So you want something that I would typically be doing at the franchise.
Yes.
I think it's so we're opening on a shot of exterior. It's about 6:37 in the morning. The sky is like that weird shade of orange blue, and there's I'm going to call him a kid, but he's probably like very late teens, like 19, 20, 21, around those age, in a gray hoodie, trying to both open the front door to our location while also simultaneously trying to keep it open with one foot and picking up the boxes that, like the packages that were waiting for us, and trying desperately to keep his balance as he picks up more and more boxes where it like hides his face, towers above him, and like he knocks into the door frame. One threatens to fall, he barely catches it, and like kind of makes his way in. It takes an uncomfortable and awkward 6 minutes of just fumbling around in silence.
Somewhere in the background, Nightingale is mad about the delivery people not delivering packages where they were supposed to be delivered, which is not to the front of the building, to the back of the building where the delivery entrance is.
Labeled.
Yeah.
And as he goes in, of course, trips on the carpet, falls down. The boxes just come all tumbling down, scatter across the floor. And that's where we would cut and see him just look at the camera. There's a piece of tissue blocking like his clearly bleeding nose at this point. And he goes, "Hey, I'm Brian. This is my first job here. What do I have to say again?"
Just tell us who you are and just why you decided to join Inspectres.
Brian Friedman. And I'm trying to get a place for myself. My mom got a new boyfriend, and I don't really like him. So I'm trying to save up for an apartment. And they said they would pay me after my internship, which is about the best thing I could get around. I'm also not allowed to operate any machine that has grease or oil. So my prospects were somewhat limited after the Baltimore fire of '03. Do I need to say anything else?
No, thank you. I think that's quite enough.
Okay.
We're, we take it, and I think we're going to get a we're going to get a shot of the harbor and the National Aquarium as we see the big and panning out among the various ships, and then we are going to go to the next person. Who's the next person?
I will go because that was the perfect setup for Nightingale. So you'll see Nightingale. They're in a. So the strip mall isn't very big, and so the space that Nightingale is currently occupied, it doesn't. The math isn't mathing for like the dimensions of the space versus the dimension of the space that you just saw Brian enter in. But like it's full of like floor to ceiling like the 5-tier racks with like various boxes that all have like nicely labeled like barcodes or whatever. And so you see Nightingale has like at a pretty large table with all the boxes that Brian was trying to bring in, like opening them up and like sticking barcode labels on all of them, like muttering curses under their breath about people not doing their job properly. But like every couple seconds, like they'll yell, "Not you, Brian! You're fine! You did nothing wrong!" And then like more just like general cursing as like they open up all these boxes and like where did this come from? Who sent this? Why are they even sending these things to us? Type deal.
Nice. And so when it cuts to you, what is how do we see you in your interview? What do you say?
So I did not go to the wherever the camera person producer wanted us to go to sit for the interview. Nightingale did not go there. I don't have time to leave my little cubby space. I'm sitting on a box of boxes, or I'm sitting next to a bunch of boxes on that same table or whatever. Like, okay, what do you need from me? Hi, I'm LL Nightingale. I am the operations. What is my actual title? Imports and Exports Compliance Manager for this particular franchise of Inspectres. If you need something, I know a person. If you need something, I have it, and if I don't have it, I know someone.
Excellent. And
Not happy for anything either.
And is that everything you wanted to give us in your intro, or is there anything else you wanted to tell us?
No, I think you'll learn who I am as we're going. It'll be fine. Just
All right.
don't take any of my pens. Don't even look at my pens.
Right.
Don't make eye contact with the pens.
There is the sense, you do not see it on camera, that there is the sense of a producer shifting nervously backwards. And I think we're going to switch. We briefly get a shot of the racetrack, and then we're going to cut to the next person. Who's the next person?
I can go. So if you've seen the shot, from the racetrack and the other stuff, it cuts to where you see a middle age towards retirement, very preppy, business casual woman walk into the franchise with her, engraved coffee mug, the big one with her initials on it, and she kind of just swipes in to this room like swoosh. You can literally hear the swoosh when she comes in with the energy, and comes towards Brian and starts peppering him with questions about how many people called, how much mail got there, did he finish the checklist that I left him last night, and then you see her sitting at her desk, and it says Juniper Davis, office manager.
Excellent. Excellent. And what do we see in your interview?
In the interview, she would probably still be sitting at her desk. You know, that's probably what she would have completely insisted on. You know, in her little almost pink pantsuit, you know, with her dark hair and her glasses, and just sitting there. Yes, I am Juniper Davis. I am the office manager here of this facility. Um, uh, I am overseeing Brian right now and try to teach him everything that he needs to know. He is still a little nervous. Nightingale is you know, the other senior partner here. We both don't really pull a salary yet because we have just started. And Brian, did the rest of the stuff come so we can finally use our equipment? And she and then, you know, she kind of jumps up and walks out of the view.
Excellent.
Senior partner?
Excellent.
Because, you know, we are the ones who actually have the experience and the money.
Oh, okay. I got promoted without knowing. I take no new responsibilities.
I mean, aside from us, who else is gonna make the decisions?
Make decisions? About more than packages?
I love the idea that this is not supposed to be in the interview, but the camera's just sort of following you.
Like, no, like I heard senior partners and Nightingale's head just like popped out of a door and went, I got promoted. Like, what do you mean? Wait.
Rapid promotion.
I mean, you know, you basically have stock in this place, don't you? You have a whole room back there. Don't you want to have a say about what we do with it?
I look at Brian and go, we like to promote from within. You have a good future here.
Nice.
And I think it's going to cut there, and we're going to see briefly a shot of the Museum of Art, and then we're going to go finally over to Dorian.
And as we cut to the museum, you'll hear in the background a sort of as you see this extremely rickety 50-year-old car puttering along the side of the museum. It looks like it's very much that same energy as in the first Incredibles movie where Robert Parr was inside his tiny car just driving along it. And within this car, you see Dorian. Like the car is not built to accommodate like his height. It's too small. His legs is scrunched up, like the kind of position where your leg is going to get cramped after 5 minutes of just on the pedal. And eventually the car sort of like turns into the strip mall and parks. And again, it takes like 10 seconds for the engine to settle down before he gets up and grabs a crate, like a box out, and begins to like speed walk his way into the strip mall, into our office. And as he opens, sorry, I'm late. I was, my boss asked me to stay behind to do some overtime work, and I was paid in pizzas, which I brought with me. And I hold out the box and looks around and sees, oh, we have guests. As we just look at the camera for a bit, and then it instantly cuts to him sitting in front of the camera, looking extremely uncomfortable. And he goes, oh, so what do I say here?
Just let us know who you are and why you joined Inspectres.
Oh, hello. I'm Dorian, Dorian Kwan, and I'm just happy to be here. And then we cut to my desk. Dorian, you know those thingy that you put in front that shows your name and your position? It shows my name, Dorian Kwan, and then underneath, just happy to be here. And that's it.
Oh, that's awesome. Brilliant. And I think we get a brief cutaway to the baseball field, and then we're going to get into it. It's going to show the outside of the strip mall. It is coming on, it's a little before dusk. The sun's still up right now. So it's probably about, 5-6-ish in the evening, maybe. I imagine it gets dark sometime around then up there. And let me see. Do you have a who is generally the first person to see when customers are showing up?
Hmm. I mean,
Probably Brian,
yeah.
and then Juniper would be hovering because
Okay,
he's
good,
supposed
'cause
to
I was
answer the
gonna say-
phones and be the reception, but Juniper doesn't trust him yet.
With reasons.
Well, she's
I-
also
You
a
don't know it
micromanager,
yet, but
very
with
much
good
so.
reason.
Nightingale just thinks we should let him just sink or swim, and by mostly just let him sink. Which is why Nightingale's not allowed to interact with the interns without supervision.
So is Brian? So Brian's in like the front office. Is there like a desk, or is there just a chair, or is there what's in here?
Probably a counter,
Is-
kind
we know
of
there's
like
a
a
carpet.
medical office counter,
Yeah.
with
So-
like one of these plastic covers in case people spit.
Oh my God. Okay. And I think what you're going to see, Brian, what you're going to see coming up is there. You see, someone has pulled up in one of those sort of fairly higher end little black convertible has pulled up outside in the parking lot, and you're going to see you're going to see coming toward the inspector's office is this is a gentleman. He looks a little bit heavy set. He's wearing what looks like an old fashioned kind of hunting jacket with leather patches at the shoulders, and sort of the weird kind of beige pants with the bits in the side. They're kind of like jodhpurs, but not quite. It's like someone saw jodhpurs and decided they wanted to make a knockoff that's similar, but that is supposedly less awkward, but in fact is not. And so this fellow, it looks like he's probably in his 50s. He has like sandy blonde hair going to gray, probably. Underneath his sort of jaunty triangular hat. And you see him sort of stepping forward, red-faced, toward the office. And how late are you folks open? Are you trying to close right now, or is there or are you open for a bit longer?
I am
No, I'm
thinking
not
we
in a
probably
position
open
to
late,
decide that.
I
So
definitely
not-
show up late, so I definitely stay later.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. So so if the front door is open, then you see he'll
Definitely locked. They definitely have to ring the bell to let in.
oh yeah, he has to ring the bell. Okay, so you see he'll be like he tries the door sort of obtusely for a moment, and then he does that thing where it's like rattle, 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 and then he looks in. He doesn't even, again, he has not seen the doorbell. He looks in, and he's going to see Brian, and he's going to be like tapping on the glass.
I'm just cupping my hands like this and mouthing, "Ring the bell."
Also, it doesn't
What?
help that it doesn't help that I've put on the sign, like, it's a push door, but I've definitely put a sign in that says pull. It's a test. It's a first step test for anyone coming in the door, whether they can figure out how doors work. And
Oh
whether
yes.
and if they believe everything that they see.
I tried pulling, and nothing happened.
I'm gonna walk up to the door. I'm not opening it. I'm still just cupping my hands. This time I'm gonna shout like from beyond the door, just "Ring the bell."
And he stops for a second. He's like he looks he looks incensed for a moment because you're right there, and he's like and he looks and he finally sees the sign. and he's like, and he just sort of gestures as if you're like, sort of like, as if you're like,
So as the bell rings, he will hear that
He-
tinkling, and then
he'll
suddenly
press the button.
from a little speaker he will hear, "Thank you for coming to the Inspectors of Baltimore office. Somebody will be with you in a moment."
There's someone right here. He's sort of here.
I can hear you, sir. And I'll unlock the door, open it, and welcome to the inspector's office of Baltimore. Welcome to the Baltimore's inspector's office.
Is there someone here I can talk to?
From the background, you hear someone yell, "No!"
May I take your complaint and or fear and or worries? So come in.
And he's just sort of he's just sort of like he stands there processing for a second that this is what he has to deal with, and eventually he looks back over his shoulder, back at his car, and he looks back inside, and he's like, "Oh, hell." And so he'll step inside, and as he's kind of looking around for a second, the door closes behind him, and he's like, Is this secure and confidential being here? It's very important.
Depends. Do you believe that ghosts can hear through walls?
I don't know.
Put that down as a no. Well, fine. It's a safe space here.
Listen, I'm my name's and he says, "Listen, lad, listen, son," he says, fishing out a business card.
You're not my dad.
He hands you a business card. The name's Mooseman, Vane Mooseman, and I'm the PR coordinator and public relations coordinator for Pimlico Racetrack.
Okay.
And we have, as you may be aware, the city is getting ready to is started a very large project to help us renovate, and well, we haven't started in earnest on the renovations. The races are still going on as scheduled, but we seem to have a problem.
Is it? What type of races?
Have you he stops for a second, kind of processing the fact that you don't know what type of races, and he's like, it's Pimlico, home of the Preakness.
Horses?
Yes, son, horses.
Okay.
Our life is horses.
Client
That's all we do, day in, day out, is horses.
Okay.
In the background, you just see Jennifer looking out her office door like, "You don't know." And she'll turn around and you know, look at Mr. Happy just to be here. Give him another couple of minutes before we help, okay?
Did you know, sir, they now make cars to race in?
He's for a second, you can see he's turning redder when you say that. Just visibly. And he's like, well, some can't quite cut it in the in the horse racing business. So yes, I am aware.
Okay.
It's about to to get rid of him. Just no, no. And you see her just like stepping out, like she wasn't listening. Oh, hello. My name is Juniper Davis. I'm the office manager. How can I help you? And she kind of just like hip checks
So
Brian a
he
little
had
out of the way.
previously, yeah, he had previously not realized that there was even a way further back there. So he jumps for a second when you come out, and so he's like, oh, hello, hey, he pulls out another identical business card, Vane Mooseman.
Oh, it is
Uh,
nice
public-
to meet you, sir. How can we
Public
help
relations, Pimlico Racetrack.
you? And she kind of
Yes.
tries to take, the piece of paper that Brian was like writing on, trying to read what he wrote, and then she's like,
Oh, you do not want to read the chicken scratch that
yeah,
he.
she's like, I cannot. All right, and she just grabs a clipboard. You have no clue where the clipboard is coming from. Where is she keeping her clipboard? And she's like,
Is it bedazzled?
it's probably monogrammed too. Yes.
I appreciate your
Excellent.
dedication.
Yes,
To the-
with a special pen that is attached with a chain that nobody better be taking, else they're gonna get.
Nightingale deeply respects that.
Don't mess with the good pens. And she's like ready,
That's very good.
and she will start reading off the questions. All right. Are you who are you here for yourself, for an entity, for a company?
What's the difference between an entity and a company?
Well,
Some
A
of them are
company-
dead.
an entity can be anything or anyone. They don't have to be alive. A company is a business. I mean, you would know that, right? I mean, are we just
Well,
helping
yes, but-
you personally? Are we helping the people you work for? Or has an entity talked to you through the veil and send you to us to help?
Not sure exactly which column this one goes into, but I'm here for I'm here on behalf of our of Pimlico.
All right,
From the
business.
background, in the back, you hear Nightingale yell, "Make sure we get their insurance information."
Yes, yes, yes. That is at the very bottom when I'm done talking to him and he has to fill out the rest of it, including all the waivers.
Good job.
That
And
waivers?
then she's like, what is the problem? Is it a ghost related? Is it
Well, we haven't
alien related?
figured-
Is it fairy tale related?
Well, we haven't figured out exactly what it is yet, and that's why we decided it was best to come to you folks.
All right.
Oh, we gotta speak. Nightingale pops out of the back, going, "Oh, you want us to figure out what it is first? That's a whole different set of forms, my guy. You're coming here and you want us to figure it out."
All right, unknown, which will add at least 3 more forms to this. What are the symptoms of your problem?
Well, he says, now not sure who to look at or talk to, as there are now 3 people in the room with him.
Bill laughed immediately after saying that.
He oh, okay. He's like, what? Who? What? I'm sorry. What was the question?
What are the symptoms? What is the
Symptoms.
problem? Exactly. What is happening that you want us to fix, that you know something's wrong?
There's something on the track at night. We don't know what it is.
And what does it do? Is it physically moving stuff? Is it making people upset? Emotionally?
Well-
Is it just talking?
Well,
Is
somewhat,
it-
yes. We don't exactly. We don't exactly. We don't see it, but so much as hear it.
And she writes down. But you can't see it. You can only hear it. Sensory.
Yes.
Okay. Not visible. Has it made people throw up or feel nausea?
Not that I'm aware of.
know
This
physical
has started. It's
manifestation.
we've had it on. we show up at times. Obviously, we're they're it's hard to explain, but we hear it's like someone. We thought for a moment someone first time I heard it, we thought it was someone out running on the course at a time when they shouldn't be. And
Were they
we went out.
yelling for help? Is it just or is it
No,
more
it's
like
more
the
of a-
baby cry?
No, it sounds like there's. Well, if I didn't know any better, it sounds like there's someone riding a horse out on the track.
Equestrian noises. Okay, that is very, very, very interesting. So it is just disturbing the peace. Basically, it's not breaking nothing.
Not that I'm aware of, but well, the thing is that it's some of the fellows who are supposed to be starting in on the construction are not don't want to stay late, and that's going to cause us problems. And if that causes us problems, that's going to cause the city problems.
Have you tried paying them more money?
That is the city's purview.
What do they think that it is? Has any of them seen anything that is different than what you guys know? Sometimes superstitions might be true.
We don't know. It's just that it's a time where we don't have any. We know we don't have any horses out on the track. We don't have any jockeys out on the track. We have that. You know, because we keep careful track of these kinds of things. But no, we just don't know. We just don't know what it is. No matter where we go, and it's not coming out of any of the speakers. We thought at first it was a prank, but it's in all of the. We've shut down the speakers. We shut everything down, and we can still hear it, and we don't know exactly what's happening. It has,
Right.
And the thing is that after the first night it happened, well, some of the there is a suspicion that it may be spooking some of the animals who come the next day. Now, I can't say whether or not that is in fact the case. I don't believe it is. I think that that's just a nasty rumor. But there is something that folks, some folks have said are making the animals a little skittish the next day every time that we hear this at night.
All right. Possibility of animals sensing it. Now, and she's like, okay, we can skip this one and this one and this one. And she goes like, all right, next page. Have there been any untimely, violent, or gruesome deaths in the last 6 months in your location?
He just sort of pauses for a second.
Now, be honest. We're supposed to help you, so
Nothing,
be honest with us.
No, I don't believe that there's been anything that's happened. No, I don't think so. Not to my knowledge.
That pause was too long. Nightingale has appeared behind his shoulder like a creeper. Way too close. Way too close. For comfort. Like,
Just like
that pause was
and
too
it's
long,
like
my guy.
full obituaries. Call them
Hey
more.
Brian, can you look at the local paper for any recent deaths in or around the go back at least 10 years.
All right, so you would want us to come and set up and figure out what it is, and not only figure out what it is, I'm guessing you want us to make it stop.
Yes, that would be ideal.
All right, Brian, go get the man some coffee, please. And then she gives him like a stack of forms and says, please fill this out. Make sure that all of the banking and insurance information is there. Make sure to include a reference.
Oh.
So we know who sent you to us.
Oh, this is oh.
Yes.
This is
And
a
then
lot.
she pulls like a nice pen and she's like, here's one of our good pens. I would
Can
appreciate if you
I,
don't leave with it.
Can I have my can I have my assistant do this and fax it over to you?
No.
Because I was about to turn around and say, "Do we have a fax machine? Did that come yet?" I don't think
First
we have
off,
a fax machine
it's
yet.
2023. We do not take faxes. You can either and no, you cannot email it to. You fill out in person in this office and you hand it back to us so it can be filed immediately. If you walk out of this door, we have to fill out the forms again from the top.
Yes. Please sign
Can-
in triplicate in the marked areas. I highlighted them for you.
If I do this, will you be able to come by tonight?
No, we don't start work until, what did I put in our little sign? Somewhere between 10 a.m. Monday through Friday.
Well, but it's only at night.
Oh, that's
Yes,
right.
yes.
So you get to pay us golden hour rates as well for working at night. Anytime from when the sun goes down, from when the sun comes up, it's time and a half.
It's hazard pay, basically.
I know that's not even hazard pay, Mike. That's just it's nighttime.
It's fine so long as you deliver.
The fees are on page 23.
Oh my God!
Please have a
Alright.
seat and
Please.
start filling this out,
Okay.
and then she kind of grabs Nightingale and just drags her in the back. It's like,
I grab Brian as we go.
okay,
God.
just
Wait,
give it time.
did all of us go into Kwan's office? Is that what's happened here?
yes.
Yeah,
We're
Dorian's,
all in the same office.
Dorian's office, sorry.
yeah, Dorian's face lights up as he's just happy to be included.
Let's not bother him. We don't want him to leave, okay? We don't want him to leave. That's our first real customer, okay?
I would like our first real customer not to end up with us having no more customers ever again.
He works for the city gives them money. They have deep pockets.
Okay.
Just think about what we can order from when they pay us to finally finish up all the stuff in these boxes where that's missing shit.
It's true. We might even be able to pay Brian.
Huh?
Ooh, did you put the commission form in there?
Yes, absolutely. There's all of the forms are in there. Even the forms he doesn't need, just in case.
Good.
So are we leaving to check it out now?
No. You gotta wait for him to finish all of the paperwork and make sure that his money is good.
Yeah.
But if you want to, you can already see if you can prepare some of the gear. That might be a ghost, a specter, something. It doesn't have any physical manifestations yet. It's not touching nobody. It's not breaking shit. It's not sliming nothing. So bring the EMS. And she's like,
Of course. I will
getting
prepare
a little
everything.
notebook with the thing. And the Geiger counter and the infrared camera.
Geiger counter, are we expecting nuclear? I go as I begin to pack the stuff into our duffel
We can
bag.
charge extra for that. That's just an extra fee for an extra. It's not going to be there, but if we check for it, we can charge it.
Fair.
Yes.
I would like to make my money back on the investment into this building. It's the city of Baltimore wants to be the one that picks up that tab. I'm not going to stop them.
Okay, so we're gonna zoom ahead just a little bit, so Mr. Mooseman has filled out all of these forms. It takes him a little while, but he gets through it. We get some exciting montages of filling out forms from different angles, and then.
Brian's struggling with a Keurig machine. It's not even a Keurig. It's the fancy ones that it has these little pouches that look like baby pouches that you got to put in. It's like a Nescafe or something. That's way
I know what
complicated.
you're talking about. Those, yeah, the ones that are kind of like the packets
like
with little things sticking up at the top and the.
Yes, and it's
God,
the
I've had
Capri Sun
offices.
looking
I've had
things.
offices with those things. They're so nice, but they're so wasteful because the packet just like sits in the back of the machine till someone empties them. Brian's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Oh yeah,
Just Brian,
it's a pain.
Simon.
It's a pain. You gotta, and especially if no one knows, because you never know until it doesn't work, and then you gotta pull the thing out. And anyway, yeah, it's like, my God, this is full of packets.
You're like,
I'm definitely.
Can you tell that
probably-
became my job when I worked at an office? But
Brian's definitely probably got like one of the packets, like, you know, put it in, then reopen the machine. It fell through, and now he's trying to get that packet of unused coffee.
Oh my god.
And he's probably not finding it in the back, and we'll just take whichever pack has been there for like a week without knowing it, and putting that one back in.
Nice. So we're going to basically we're getting ready to start our mission here. If presumably just checking in, if he fills in all the forms, you folks are accepting the job. Is that correct?
And if his credit card goes through.
If his credit card goes, that's true. You have to get the credit card just in case. Credit card goes through. And so we're going to so as we are gearing up here, I can see we already have some equipment rolls we need to make. So now I've heard an EMS, a Geiger counter, and an infrared something.
Camera. Infrared camera.
Infrared camera. Those were all now in Inspectres. The person who makes the equipment roll is the person who thought of the idea. So that means that the Vivacia is going to make 3 equipment rolls for this. So Juniper is going to be making 3 rolls, and we'll kind of see what happens. If you wish to engage with the equipment macro that I have lovingly placed in Roll20.
I just got to see technology, right?
Yeah, it's based off of your technology score.
All right, so it's 2 dice.
Whatever that's the number that you put
Am I
in
allowed
on
to
the-
help saying that some of the stuff might be in boxes in the back?
Not for equipment rolls, alas. It's entirely just the person who came up with the idea just makes the equipment roll.
All right, 3
Okay.
equipment rolls.
Excellent. Good.
Dangerously
Good.
defective. Oopsie.
So let's see. So for the we have here. Let me actually start. I need to start a new tab for the equipment. It's
Is
vitally
it
important.
double dangerously defective? So yeah,
Yeah.
that was the infrared
Yeah.
camera.
Yep.
No, make it the
So,
Geiger
I'll tell you-
counter.
So here's
Geiger
the
counter is like standard stuff.
so the EMS electromagnetic sensor, is that what we're
Yeah, the one where you like walk around. and go,
detector? Yeah, detecting
"Wow."
electromagnetic
Mhm.
thingies, waves. So yes, you're going to find by default. It's your choice whether. And this is, I guess this is. I guess this is Dorian who's finding these things, since you assigned Dorian to find them. But
Yeah.
the so the EMS, there is something wrong with it. It's I think do we want there to be something where it's just it's only a 3, so there's only one little minor defect with it. It could just be very old, and every now and then it just doesn't necessarily. Sometimes you got to hit it sometimes to get it to work.
Yeah.
I think that's probably all it is. But it does work at least upwards of half the time, I'd say. So your roll for your Geiger counter, I don't know that it would be specialty equipment. It's a Geiger counter is almost specialty equipment, but you hear enough about them that I'd say that your roll of standard stuff for that should be fine.
I feel like you can buy a Geiger counter on Amazon.
Yeah, I think
it's
you
probably
probably.
one of
Yeah, I
those.
think
It's
you
not
can
a-
by now. So
It's not a special one. It's just a cheap one.
It's got 4 stars on Amazon.
it's an Amazon Geiger counter. That's basically what we're dealing with. And then your infrared camera. I'm going to give you the choice. Do you want to have an infrared camera that is dangerously defective?
I'm thinking because she purposefully. I think because she actually got it wrong, because she said infrared camera because she thinks that the infrared camera sees heat signatures.
It'll see something.
Yeah, that is what she thinks it's doing. So I'm thinking that it's just not working the way that she wanted it to work. It will show something, but it will not show whatever it is that she wants it to show. Maybe. So she thinks
Excellent.
that's what it is, but it's not that. It's I don't even know what
It's
it will
something
catch.
else.
It's something
We'll
else.
discover
but it's
what
not
that is
what
in
we
the-
think it is.
Yeah, we'll discover what it is in the course of our adventure today. Excellent. Does anyone else have any equipment they want to gather while this is going on?
I mean, I don't think this counts as equipment, but I'm gonna gather like a good solid bag of like salt.
Yeah, you can grab a bag of salt. That shouldn't be a big deal.
And also what you call it? Super soaker.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's not.
Would you have a super soaker on hand? Yeah, you can have a super soaker. That's no problem.
I mean, we're in a strip mall.
Yeah.
There's
You are in a
good
strip mall.
chance-
That's true. I think you have to. There has to be, by law, super soakers have to be available in every strip mall. I think that's pretty much in America, at least.
I mean,
So,
the
probably like
question-
an Ollie's knockoff or something around
Yeah, like,
here.
it's
There
not
is,
like a real
there
super
is
soaker,
a
but,
Dollar
like-
General or something equivalent nearby. So
It's,
yeah,
and
you
it's
probably.
specifically filled with bleach water because we use it for like spraying bugs and cleaning corners. The water may have been blessed and holy at some point or another, but mostly we use it for like spraying spots and like dirt spots on the wall.
Because
I
we're
mean,
short
you know, it-
and we don't have a ladder.
We don't have a ladder.
Leads to cleanliness. So that's
And
Both
that
kinds of
works.
cleanliness, both the unholy
Cleansing.
kind, yeah, and the dirt
Cleanse-
kind. And also
Your
to be
walls
fair,
and your soul simultaneously.
and also to be fair, bleach water also works on regular human beings.
It does.
And-
So do with
that-
mistakes, strangely enough.
Would
Right.
you have like a little assortment of religious symbols, or is that specialty
Yes,
equipment?
yeah, that was what I was gonna say. That Dorian is gonna reach into his trusty pouch that he's collected over his months working here, and it's like that guy from the first Mummy movie where he has like a ring of like those medallions that he just pulls out for whatever purposes.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I think so. So I actually will give this to Dorian. Dorian, do you want to make an equipment roll for this?
Haha,
see what-
I haven't.
How effective these things are? If you would like them to be perhaps special.
How many different holy symbols have you collected over the time?
God, I have an equipment of 1.
Okay, you got standard. So that means these are just basic recognizable holy symbols. That means you can get off of Amazon or on the street.
Yep. Like just those
collected.
roadside vendors, pawn shops, like those that goes for like $1
Yeah.
or $2.
You hit up
Oh,
like
it's a
every
Star of
every
David,
single
you
different like
know?
religious building in the city of Baltimore, saying, "Hey, can I borrow one of these?" and just never
Yeah.
return them.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, and you know what? What would be amazing if some churches have these cheap, bright plastic rosaries. If you would have taken one of those and strung them up on that,
Mm. Oh yeah, that works.
like these little plastic beads, and it used to be a rosary.
It's
My
a
daughter likes
hefty
to steal
necklace.
those when she sees her grandparents.
It clatters everywhere. Every time I move the bag.
Nice. Okay. One thing that I do just want to clarify. So that I do just want to clarify with LL about the stuff that's in the super soaker.
Yes.
Do you want that to actually be holy water?
Can holy water expire? Does anyone know?
Is there?
You can always make an equipment roll and find out.
Okay, let's
I think
find out.
So long as you have faith, it works.
Does a priest blessing like wears off after?
Yeah, like did it like a
3
time?
months?
Does it
Like,
get
did it-
contaminated?
What is the best buy date on on the blessing of holy water?
Hold on, let me do an equipment roll. We'll see if it's blessed or not. How many dice do I have for this
If
anyway?
a priest
what's
gets
your
kicked
tech
out
score?
of his order because of something he did, do
Yeah.
all the things he blessed prior to getting kicked out still count?
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna use one dice for this because I don't need it. Like, what did I get?
Okay, so
Standard. Yeah.
it's it was blessed at one point. That's
Yeah.
that's all we know.
Yeah. It had been a thing of blessed holy water. I had like one of those. What do you call it? What do you call those? So like in offices, those giant blue jugs of water that you use for I got one of those blessed, and that's the only jug of holy water we had, and I just like it's specifically labeled with
It's like the
white
water
tape.
cooler jug.
Yeah, it's specifically labeled with like white tape, holy water, do not drink.
Wow.
Excellent. So it's standard stuff. So there's really no guarantee that it will actually do anything supernatural, but it was a priest did do a thing over it. So
Yeah, someone
probably
did
good.
pray over it and touch it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Excellent. And let's see. Anyone else have any other pieces of equipment they want to throw in here before
Do
we?
we have like a mystery machine kind of vehicle that we have?
Well, the vehicle's
I
next.
thought that was your car.
No, I
Oh,
was.
yeah.
What's your
Vehicle
car
is
too?
next.
I was
If
gonna offer
if you
my
know,
car.
Brian would be in charge. Like he would have like a little old school toolbox that has like almost like a CSI kit in it to make sure that it's actually, not just a human. And he would keep that under his desk. He's in charge of that because he can't break it.
Well, if you would like to roll for that, because that
Okay.
was your idea, you may.
I would probably have given it to him, to make him feel like he's part of this. He's doing something, but
as a
thinking,
CSI kit, yeah.
yeah, like swabs and like gloves
sure.
and
And you
Stuff like
think
that.
he won't break it?
it's not as expensive. So if you lose if you lose, the fingerprint powder, I'm not gonna cry, But if you go and you break the equipment, LL is gonna whoop your butt.
It's true. I was gonna say that I definitely went. I
Yeah.
definitely got someone to ship back from the Paramount studio lot from CSI one of their bags that say CSI on them, where I put all the
Okay.
stuff.
So you got a 6.
Oops.
That means there is something incredibly awesome about this CSI kit that you have given to
You
Brian.
need
Good job, Brian. It's a
Right.
miss.
Let me just write on my sheet. So I have the magical CSI kit.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want it to be magical or ultra tech? Either one.
Oh, I think, can I just have it being like MacGuffin-y?
It has one all-purpose item in it.
Just
Well-
like, I don't know. At some point, Jim, I will bullshit you that there's
Mhm.
something in
Yeah.
that kit that will apply.
We can workshop it. That'll be fine.
One item
Um,
that was on an episode of CSI is in that bag.
But
It's like
if
he
we
will
do it that
find
way,
a
just keep in
special
mind
item
it'll
in
be
the bottom.
useful. Keep in mind if we do it that way, it'll be useful for mainly that one thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay.
Aside from the normal stuff, right?
Yeah, aside from the usual stuff, which is brushes and things like that. Okay.
Yes.
Excellent. All right. And did you actually, Simon? I think you're the only one who hasn't rolled for any equipment. Was there any particular equipment you wanted to get?
I've been
Make sure you
thinking
have-
about it. And I guess the only thing that Brian can think of is he's gonna make like thermoses of like coffee for the job.
Okay, you can have that. That's no big
That's
deal.
the only equipment I can think of. Wait, it's
Thermoses
based
of
on my
coffee.
tech,
Snacks and
right?
coffee.
Did Brian pack us a picnic basket for our overnight trip to this
Wait, y'all realize? Okay, Brian has a 3 in tech, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Brian's in charge of the car.
It's just standard coffee.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Unless you want it to be special coffee, then it's
No, statistically, there
yeah.
were high chances of it being ultra good coffee.
yeah, that's fair. Ultra
just-
good. That's fair.
It's hilarious that the person that has the most. Well, no, I think
I think it's you. Because I only have 2 in tech.
Yeah, me too.
yeah, no, everyone else is 2 in tech.
Yeah. The based
boy.
on the way that our franchise dice allotment came out, you folks have kind of okay tech. You have kind of okay gym equipment access to. Maybe struggling a little bit, but your library is a little bit better than average. it's whatever sort of lore stuff you might have. You've got a decent amount in the bank right now. So is there so whose vehicle? Whose vehicle?
Does Baltimore
is
not
it
have
that
public
we'll be
transportation?
using? Baltimore does. You don't have to have a vehicle. You want to use public transportation?
I mean,
Nightingale and Imani
honestly,
cannot drive.
but she probably has access to a van that we can borrow.
No,
And
I just call a ride. I don't drive. I have people drive me places.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like we would probably have Brian or Dorian drive
Yeah.
because
It'll be a cramped
Juniper
fit into
doesn't
the
like to
car.
drive. It makes her nervous. But you would know. It's like
Yes, I would know someone with a
drop
minivan.
off the van. You get it back tomorrow morning.
You'll get it back when this job is done. I'll fill it with gas.
Okay. So if I'm hearing right, LL is acquiring a van.
Yes.
Excellent. Please make an equipment roll.
Okay, I'm gonna use 2 for this.
What's your tech score?
2.
Okay, yeah, you can always use 2. You can get the best of the 2. So we have.
I got a 3. Yeah.
Okay, so that means there is a defect with it. There is something wrong with it.
Can I pick
it'll
it?
work. Did you have an idea?
Yes. So I borrowed a cousin's van, and this cousin has had it's a nice van. It's like one of those higher end mommy vans. The problem with this van is, however, because it's one of those higher end mommy vans, it requires a lot of special equipment to get fixed, which means when it breaks, you don't take it immediately to get fixed. You wait till it's like fucked up before you take it for them to go fix it. So this thing like leaks oil like a sieve. Like you
Great.
drive someplace, you park it. You know when you come back, in the back of that van, it's just car oil that you're constantly refilling in that car. Like the second you park it, when you come back, there will be an oil slick where you parked that car.
Maybe we even
Nice.
have
It
something
is not
to put
good in an
underneath to catch
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, like it's not a start the car. This is an emergency. We need to go thing. This is fill the cart with oil, then start the car, then we can go once it does the whole thing type van. But it'll
I
go.
had a car like that once.
Yeah.
Engine lights on.
All the time, every day. At no point is it not like leaking oil. Theoretically, we could like light the oil on fire as we're driving and leave like a nice fire trail.
Oh my
but,
God.
like,
Wow.
But follow
also
you. That's the problem.
it would follow you. Like you
How
wanna, like,
fast can we go?
Yeah, it's a Chrysler mommy van. I don't know how fast minivans go. It's not meant for driving
write
fast.
a quick note here.
Highly flammable
dripping.
car.
It's
So
not
every-
streaming, but it's dripping. Yes.
Every time we drive this car, we have to roll a dice. If we fail the roll, we explode, and it's just a TPK.
Well,
Yeah.
my
yeah,
next
yeah.
question. Want to know
Give
my
me that
next
pull over.
question?
What's my next question?
My next question is who's driving?
Brian.
Me.
Brian.
Okay.
Oh, Brian.
Excellent.
No, Dorian can ride.
Brian?
Brian.
Yeah.
Dorian can
That's why
drive
Brian
then.
can't operate anything with oil or grease. That's right.
Oh yeah, no heavy machinery.
That's
Yeah.
right.
No,
Brian's because of the Great Fire
Who's
of
driving?
2003.
No, Brian's is sitting in a trolley attached to the back of the van with a cup holding the oil.
Oh God.
Probably on a stick, like.
So
That's like
does
one-
that mean is
one of
it
these
Dorian
cans
that's
when,
driving?
when
or-
they get donations in church, like.
Yeah. Yeah, Dorian will drive.
Excellent. So it is night is falling as you're driving. It's only roughly going to be. It shouldn't be too long to get there if you use the highway. I'm going to ask you to make a 1-die stress roll for me, please.
1 dice stress roll. Okay. Ooh.
Annoyed. Okay, you're going to suffer a 1-die penalty to your next skill roll. Whatever it is. So keep that in mind. Your next skill roll, 1 die less.
All right.
So something annoys you on the way here.
Oof.
On the way to the track. What do you think that is?
I like the idea of maybe like there's like this extremely old person in their car just driving in front of me, but then they're driving in between the lanes, and because we're inside, our truck is too big, we can't cut
Yeah.
to pass, and so I'm just like honking and like get out of the way. And this is the rare time where you see Dorian loses his shit a bit. He's
And
like,
we're
he's like,
dripping oil. Move it.
yeah, he's like
And
fairly.
it-
Yeah, he's like a friendly person for the most part, but when he drives, he's a completely different animal. Just like shouting expletives, just beeps. I'm guessing it's like all just beeped out in the footage.
Oh, the best part of this is it plays the mystery machine sound when you beep the horn.
Oh, good God. So it's one of those cases where you had this old person in front of you who happens to be going very close to where you're going, and it's not until like they get to like the Sinai Hospital near they turn into the Sinai Hospital just before the racetrack. So finally, the last several yards before you the parking lot you have. I just want to once again point out real quick that this is where you are now headed is a racetrack similar to but legally distinct from the Pimlico racetrack, the real Pimlico racetrack in the Baltimore area. This is an imaginary Pimlico racetrack with imaginary geography, and therefore may not be what folks may remember if they have been there. That said, I will. Let me grab the. Let me throw open up a couple of handouts for you.
Oh, it's actually very
folks.
far north.
Yeah, it's pretty far north, but it's only about a 10-minute drive on the highway, roughly 10 to 15 minutes. Probably more like, well, in your predicament, it probably took you like 20 to 25 minutes to get there because of the because of old person. So let me see here. Let me go ahead and I'm going to show you a couple of pictures in the Roll20 just so that you'll have that. And I have a vague idea.
Looks like a green pill.
Of where things are. It kind of
Actually
does.
grew
It
up
kind of does.
close to a racetrack. It's closed by now, but yeah.
And it kind of does look pill-like. So you see that there is a little bit of construction going on outside of it in one of the parking lot. One of the parking lots. There are multiple parking lots. So you have basically, just to describe it to folks, you have essentially this lozenge-shaped green track with on the outside this dirt track running along the outside. On the inside, you have a few little things that I think even little vehicles could go on, but a couple of little buildings on the interior and a few other things that they've decorated it with. On the outside, you've got some on the east side, southeast side. You've got these longer buildings, which I believe are used to keep horses and many other things when they are here racing. Those you don't see anyone about there as you pass it. On the opposite side, you have the grandstand and the clubhouse and the press box and things, sort of the big glass box over where the people sit. And that's the basic layout. You're coming here. It is night. There are going to be a few employees still kind of wandering around, but they're going to be few and far between. The construction crew went at nightfall, but some of their equipment might still be here near the edge of things. As you sort of pass by the hospital, you see some of that after the hospital, and so you're pulling up to the outside where there are a number of little sort of fences that can get you can get through the fence to the parking lot. In the parking lot, there's little gates that'll lead you to where the racetrack is, and ultimately the other buildings as well.
Right,
Now,
yeah, I'll just
we're at the start of the mission. We're at the start of the mission, and I'm going to say right now we're looking at, what time is it? We're going to shoot for. We're going to start out modestly. We'll shoot for like 10 to 12 mission tokens, and we'll see if we make that. Then we have more time. We'll go a little bit further. And we'll see what happens. What are we doing?
Before anybody gets out of the van, it's like Juniper will grab in her bag, and she has these little homemade batches. The little plastic holders you can get on Amazon or in the store, and she printed like everybody's name, with our little logo on it, so we look official in our job title. And again, it will say, just happy to be here on, Dorian's. And then she's like, please make sure that you wear this so people know who we are, that they don't think we're thieves.
Also, please note that if you get arrested during the time while you're on we will not bail you out. You are on your own.
There is no bail fund yet.
There is no bail fund yet.
Understood.
Also, don't go off by yourself, because if you also get decapitated, we will not pay your life insurance, because occupational hazard.
And you know that we haven't negotiated the health insurance yet either.
Yeah,
so.
we're still working on that. I'm sorry, guys.
No, it's okay. I don't have health insurance in my current job anyway.
We'll be better than your current job. We're working on it, okay?
We're working on it, okay? It's on the list. Also, she has a clipboard with all the things where she keeps track of what she got to bill the dude for. Extra oil, check.
If the guy, when this job pays, we will be able to negotiate our health insurance plan. And you'll have great coverage, Congress level coverage.
Yes, because we need that. So where's Dorian parking again?
Yeah. So you have a couple of parking lots. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess maybe near the clubhouse.
Sure. Absolutely. I think I actually have I can also show you the what the clubhouse looks like as it's this big white building with the friendly lettering, Pimlico, home of the Preakness, and the little golden horsey statues.
What does that even mean?
Statues. Those frieze on that. The Preakness. That's one of the big races.
Oh. I don't think I'm a horses. Both Imani and Nightingale are terrified of horses. They're too big to be prey animals. It's just too fucking
That's
big.
fair.
So when Juniper gets out of the van, she doesn't carry any of the heavy stuff. But she does pull a cheap dictaphone out of her pocket, so that she can record stuff.
The camera crew was very happy, but actually, where is the camera crew?
The camera crew will suddenly appear. The camera crew does not have bodies, but officially
A floating camera.
we are only within the world of their documentary, but they are nearby. Anytime you look up and try to find the camera crew, they are there.
Okay.
When you are not looking for the camera crew, they are not there.
Well, my question is, has the camera crew equipped us with microphones and walkie-talkies?
Oh yeah, they can absolutely hear everything you're saying.
Okay.
Little drones with the stuff on it. Great. Or fairies. Who knows? Maybe it's actually little aliens. We don't know.
Should we have no idea who's piloting those drones? Could be people, could be fairies.
We might be the alien, entertainment.
It's true.
All right. So we should probably, he said it is on the track, so we should probably find us somewhere in the middle of the track, in that middle area, somewhere to set up in the area where he said that, the noises were heard. Yeah. And she's probably flipping through the paperwork that he gave her, to where it's like where he had to draw a little map of where exactly it is.
Yeah.
So that, she can find it.
It's weird because it was he's made little crosses on like about half a dozen different places around the track that it's been heard. So it's been both sides. It's kind of on all four sides of the track it's been heard. You've parked near sort of the western side of the track.
Well, let's pick one of the X's that has that's the best area to set up. Maybe it has like a little tent next to it or whatever they have in the middle, like the winners or something. Isn't there something set up for the winners so that we have a spot to set
tents
our
behind
stuff?
There's a little winners circle building, and actually, wait, do I have that? I have that also. there's a little winter circle building, and behind it, in the shot that I put in Roll20, you can't see it terribly well. But there's a little building with like a weather vane on top, looking thing, and behind it are usually this tent structure behind the winter circle. It's this sort of flowers leading up to a couple of rows of flowers leading up to a round sort of hedge structure in front of this little square building, and behind it a bunch of tents.
So whatever X would be closest to that, we would probably pick, so that
You can dump
You
our
know,
stuff.
yeah, we can put our stuff, and then we would be able to set up like the camera and send Brian around with the EMS, or actually no, Dorian would get the EMS and Brian would get the Geiger counter, because we don't think the Geiger counter is going to do nothing. So
It'll be less dangerous.
yeah, it is less dangerous.
And we don't want to kill our intern.
Yes, that's bad press.
Important. Rule number 1: do not kill the intern.
Well, really, it's really because we want to promote from within, and if we promote the intern, like, it makes us look better compared to other people.
So it's a very strange definition of the word promotion, but no, not an inaccurate one necessarily.
We want good Glassdoor reviews, okay?
Yeah.
So you've dumped a bunch of stuff in the winter circle, and now, do I understand right? So who is wandering out onto the track first to look for something?
Dorian will do so.
And what is Dorian doing?
Yeah, he'll just walk. He doesn't necessarily know what the equipment that he's holding do. He just believes that if it makes sound, then yes, it's working. And so he's just gonna walk around with the EMF and just and try to go towards wherever the sound is the loudest.
Okay. So, Dorian, I would like you to make a tech roll, please.
Okay, so I have a 1 to tech. If I -1, it's still 1, right?
Oh dear, that's right. If you do a -1, that's a 0.
So I just
means
failed.
That means you fail the
Okay.
roll.
Because of that.
Things continue to move forward, however. So you're looking around, you're trying to, I'm so sorry, this is all piling on Dorian right now. You look around and you think you have something for just a second. There's this little beep, beep, and then, and it's like, it stops.
Oh.
And it's like, you thought you saw something on there for a second, but nothing's happening. And I'm going to need you to make another 1 die stress roll for me, please.
Oh boy.
Oh, I'm broken. Ella is going to kill me.
6.
Hey!
Oh.
You gain a point of cool.
All right.
So mark that you have a point of cool. Cool is kind of like ablative armor during stress rolls. Basically, when you have, there are a few things you can do with that. Essentially, when you have cool dice, the main thing that I would say is that it allows you to ignore, if you have a cool die, if you don't spend it during your stress rolls, it lets you ignore the lowest die.
Ooh.
That's one of the biggest things that it does. You can also spend it to add to your rolls, but of course, once you spend it, it's used up.
All right.
So that's another use for the cool die. And keep in mind, folks, there's always, if anyone wants to break away and talk to the camera for a confessional, you may do so. And remember, you can continue to bend reality that way if you wish. So, Dorian, you're out on the track, and you're like trying to do it, and you don't get anything. But it's okay. Tell me, how do you react? Why is it okay?
Okay. But for the equipment I'm holding it's just a lost cause, right? It's just broken now.
Well, it's not on. It's not gonna. It isn't gonna work.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess Dorian's just spent like a couple of seconds just like smacking it around, like wondering what the hell is going on.
Have you checked the battery?
Yes, the battery is inside. Like it should be working, but and also and like how far can I go with this? Like, do I get a breakthrough and discover something, or
Well, something we'll say that you can have there's I think what we'll say, you can have a thing where it's like you're gonna if you think the thing is that you notice something, I can definitely say you kind of get this feeling as you're sort of looking at it, because you noticed the rhythm just before it shorted out.
Mhm.
It was this let me get my notes here. This little rhythm, and it wasn't that fast even. And you realize it's like, wait, there is that rhythm. You're kind of feeling. It's almost like you don't even hear it, but you kind of feel it through the ground a little bit. And it's like it's gonna kind of is stronger in that direction. Kind of if you go a little further up the track.
Oh, I think I have something, team. This way, and I'm just gonna walk forward instantly.
Nightingale will kind of jog in Dorian's general direction.
Yeah, so it's gonna start feeling stronger, I think, as you are getting closer to where the grandstands are.
When you say feel stronger, do you mean like physically feel stronger? Or like the...
You know, ever sort of are walking and you feel something like vibrations coming up through the ground?
Does it feel like a horse getting
like
close
if there's
to me?
a train passing by,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
if,
yeah.
it's kind of like that. But it's this thump, 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 thump.
I'm gonna
Thump, thump,
walk.
thump, thump.
Nightingale's gonna walk closer and faster to Dorian in case a horse appears out of nowhere to run him down.
Yeah.
One of
Okay.
Nightingale's greatest fears involving horses, also being chased by a horse, and also bit
Quick
by
question.
a horse. Yes.
I need to ask you a quick question out of character. Is are intimations toward horses okay?
Oh, I'm like joking, but not joking. But don't go for it. Like,
let me
horses
know
are
if
too-
we need
sorry,
to X-ray anything here. Just wanna make sure.
No. Horses
Okay.
are just too big to be prey animals. I don't understand.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. So, LL, as you're listening out for something, and you're sort of feeling, and you hear it. Clop, 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 clop. Clop, 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 clop.
Okay, Nightingale has a question.
Hmm?
Does it sound like an actual horse, or does it sound like a Monty Python horse?
The coconuts.
Well, you're trying to discern that. I think that's going to fall under academics. So please make an
Okay.
academics roll for me.
How do I make an academics roll?
That's you've got an academic score. So how many academics do you have? What's your academic score?
It's good, I think. I think I decided to be smart. I did not decide to be smart.
Oh wow.
I have a 1 in academics.
Okay, so you make a hit skill roll and
Oh yeah,
one
okay,
die.
there you go. I got
Okay.
not great.
Not great. The GM decides your fate, but you may be given a chance to suggest a single positive, albeit minor effect. So the way that I do this again is that this is something not good is about to happen, but there's a silver lining. What do you think that is?
It's really just a guy with coconuts.
Okay.
Wow.
So-
Dorian's definitely gonna get run over by whatever it is, but it's definitely just a guy with coconuts.
You hear it coming.
Uh-huh.
As it gets closer, you hear this. It goes from clap, 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 and both you and Dorian hear this getting closer, and you feel it, and it speeds up, and it start to get clap, 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 and it's hard to see. You don't see anything except LL.
Uh-huh.
In the moment where it sounds like almost a little bit thundering
Uh-huh.
around the both of you, you will see immediately in front of you
Uh-huh.
appears a visage of someone with wild eyes and smashing a couple of coconut heads together right in front of your face, and which then vanishes as something passes through you. And I will
Nightingale
need you to
definitely-
make
Yeah.
a 2-die stress roll for me, please.
Uh-huh. That makes sense. I'm a little stressed. Yeah, I'm a little
You are
stressed.
frazzled. Please lose 2 dice from an appropriate skill or 1 die from 2 skills. So you're gonna go in
Forever?
and take. Well, until something happens, like unless you get cool dice and you want to spend those to get them back.
Wait, question. Here's
Um,
my question. Is it from my max or from my current?
It is from your current,
Okay.
and you get to pick.
Okay, I'm gonna lose. Okay, I'm gonna lose it from academics. I'm clearly not using that.
Because Brian wasn't nearby necessarily, would I have heard the sound?
You definitely heard Nightingale
Distance?
scream. You definitely heard Nightingale scream.
Once Nightingale's first off, quick before we get to Brian's reaction, what is Nightingale's reaction on being frazzled by this?
There are 2 reactions. There's the oh shit scream, and then how Dorian, how close are you to Nightingale?
I think like I was in front of you, so you're behind me. So somehow this horse coconut man just circled past me to get to you.
How does Dorian feel about being thrown at the ghost
I
or
think
shoved in their general direction?
I think Dorian sees it. His eyes is wide.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
he's-
definitely. You go.
Yeah,
Kenny.
I was
Use a
gonna say
shield.
because I wasn't really affected by this, but mechanically, but Dorian is like affected. So all he does is just his eyes is wide, and he just slowly takes his glasses off because he has glasses now. Slowly, and then he wipes it on his clothes, and then he puts it back on. Oh, it's not here anymore. I was hallucinating. Just a smudge in my glasses, and he nods
Yep.
like
yep,
almost
nope.
And-
manically.
Yep.
And what
This
I
is
think
my
is
emotional support, Dorian.
and what I think happens is that after a second, Brian, you hear the scream and you're looking over and you're trying to approach and sort of and you start to hear this thing. The specter vanished immediately afterward. It was only there briefly, but but the 3 of you now can hear it, and Brian, you're starting to hear it as it sounds like this yeah for just a brief second as it jumps as you it sounds like something jumping the fence over the infield, and you hear this again, this clap 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 clap, and as it is heading across, as it is starting to head across, sort of down through the middle of the pill, as it were, it breaks into a faster rhythm. This this you all hear, and it thunders out that to the point that I think even at this point that Juniper will also kind of hear it. This thing that seems to be traveling across this canter that you all are hearing. What's
I think-
happening?
I'm going to look. It's not a talking head. It's not a confessional. But I think just as Brian is in his,
Oh yeah.
in his little corner, and he hears the scream, so he jolts up, and then, hears the sound, the clap, 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 and he just goes, "Oh, I think I figured it out. It's the sound of the Terminator theme." And he's gonna go after the.
I love that the camera just cuts to you briefly as you say that to them. And you go. All right, and
Nightingale-
you're doing what? You're chasing after it? Is that what you're trying to do?
I'm chasing after them, so basically going towards Nightingale.
Okay. So you're not trying to interact with the sound. Okay.
Oh no, I figured out what the sound was. So I'm going to tell everyone what it is.
Okay. So you're heading toward Nightingale to let them know. Is Juniper doing anything?
Juniper
You also
was
hear
trying
this.
to, yeah, she was trying to set up the camera. Trying to make sure everything's plugged in, and then she hears LL scream, and she kind of probably drops the cables, turns around, and just yells out, "For fuck's sake, Arian, what did you break?" And then
I
she
didn't-
hears the noise, and she's like, "Oh," and she grabs her dictaphone, and and in her high heels, because classy heels, not stilettos. She's just like running towards the others, with her dictaphone, like trying to catch the noise.
Okay. Just to specify, Brian and Juniper are in the infield.
Yeah.
Right now, and LL and Dorian are on the track. The sound right now is on the infield, at about its middle. So I just want to know in what direction everyone is currently running, if they are running.
The noise.
Yeah.
You're running for the noise, Brian.
If I see everyone running basically towards the noise, which I assume is the opposite direction I was going, I'll also flip around.
And Dorian and LL, what do you how are you folks doing?
I'm cursing. Oh,
No, you can curse first.
I'm cursing, and I've come to the incorrect but correct conclusion that there was a dead furry on this track that's haunting them.
Dead furry. Oh my god.
Okay, so you two are still staying on the track, is that right,
Yeah.
or are you moving?
I'm following Dorian. This is my emotional support, Dorian. I am not going anywhere without it for the rest of the night.
All right.
No.
Don't worry. I'm sure whatever this thing is, it's a specter, right? It vanishes, so it's incorporeal, so it cannot do physical harm to us. We march forth, and I walk towards where it.
So Dorian, you're trying. So you get around the fence. See, there are various openings, places you can like duck under. It's this wooden railing you can like either duck under or climb over. Okay, so that means that Juniper is currently closest to the thing. You were trying to run after it to catch it. Is that what you're doing?
She's trying to get close enough and hitting the dictaphone so she can like be close enough that she can catch the noise on the dictaphone.
Okay.
And because she can't see it.
Right. So, but you're just trying to record it right now. You're not trying to. Okay. Let's make that a tech roll.
Okay.
How good is your dictaphone?
Okay.
Okay, not great. We haven't earned any tokens yet. GM decides your fate, but you may give it a chance. So something bad happens as you are running this way, but there's a silver lining. So what do you think happens?
No, my dictaphone is not shaped in a phallic way. It looks like the cheapest little dictaphone that you can get at the thrift store or the Dollar General, like this tiny old gray thing. That she might or might not have.
That's the specialty
used before.
store across the street where you get those kinds of dictaphones.
Yeah, or maybe a pawn shop. She probably got it at the pawn shop. It's like one of these old ones that people used to use to dictate into to give it to their secretary. And I'm thinking that something bad's gonna happen, but she does get the noise. She's so dedicated that she manages to catch the noise.
So the one thing is you do catch the noise, but something you get close enough
in her heels.
It's like it's on you, and you don't know where this thing is. You're listening, and the noise is coming in. You can see the little. I don't know if there's any visual indicate. It's an old dictaphone. It's probably not. Yeah. But as you're hearing this, and this thing, very briefly, again, appears. You see these eyes, these reddened eyes. And things that could be coconuts or could be something else clapping together in this canter rhythm as again this thing passes through you and you feel it, this rage of something that passes through. It's like you're swimming, but it's your molecules that are swimming for a second. and it happens really fast, but it hits you. You are knocked back, and I'm going to need you to make a 3-die stress roll, please.
Oh.
It's gotten worse because I called it a furry.
Yeah, they don't like that.
Well, if it wasn't
1.
Oh.
Complete and total nuclear meltdown. You have no
Oh.
cool dice, but lose a number of skill dice equal to the number of stress dice. So you're going to lose 3
Wait,
skill dice.
you rolled 2 dice because you got a 3 and a 1.
I got a 4, a 1, and a 2.
Wait, did
I
you
rolled
roll
3
twice? No,
dice.
you rolled 3. You rolled 3 stress dice. It worked.
Yes.
And you take the lowest.
Oh.
The lowest was a 1, and so yeah, this.
So
Let
I
us
gotta
know
take-
as we are about to. So that means you do have this meltdown level thing.
Okay.
As we head
So-
into break,
Yep.
what is your reaction?
Okay. So I'm going to take 1 from academics and 1 from contact. And I'm going to say that, she probably ends up on her butt in her, nice clothes. And she is probably so frazzled about, first off, that thing knocked her over. Second off, it ruined her suit. And I'm thinking she will lose 1 off of the contact because now she doesn't feel like confident anymore because she's dirty. And she'll probably, because she felt this rage, you probably hear her cursing, and you never hear her curse. So she's so shaken that she curses like a sailor, but older, not the newer, but like the more older curses. And but nobody in the office has ever heard her be anything but professional, basically. And she is on her butt in the dirt, screaming and yelling at this thing.
And as your curses echo into the night as we pull up to a drone shot from way above Pimlico, we are going to go to break. Thank you all so much.
Wave. I'm waving emotionally.
Welcome back, folks. And we are here once again. We're about halfway through this final game of day one of the Marathon for Extra Life on this channel. As a reminder, it's organized by the Children's Miracle Network Hospitals. Donations today go to benefit kids' hospitals. September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And so, again, it's especially needed right now. We're right now still at 160. We're at about a tenth of our current goal. So always helpful if you can anything you can provide. If you want to donate, the link can be in chat under Extra Life to see the link, and also you have there are incentives for that I'm going to go over in just a moment. But just as a reminder, for the rest of this year, Valduranth is going to be matching sub points with $1 donations. So if you subscribe to the channel, and even if it's just if you have a Prime sub but you haven't used it, it's going to go to a good cause. I also do have a number of incentives, some rewards that go toward this specific game. If you donate $5, you can give a player a reroll. If you donate $15, you can add a die to the bank. No one's tapped into the bank just yet. There are 3 dice sitting in the bank right now, but they could go fast depending on what happens. Because we've had some players lose some dice now, so I feel as though we're going to start breaking into the franchise dice soon. For $25, you can give a player a cool die right now. Nikki currently has a cool die, and we'll be seeing the effects of that shortly. But if you want to give another one to someone, it's $25.
Can I give myself a cool die?
If you pledge $25, sure.
I could have used one. I wouldn't have lost
right,
any of my dice.
That's true. Juniper needs one because they
fair.
had a whole life meltdown.
That's fair. For $50 is the equipment tier. You can give a player an amazing item, something that would be like an amazing ultra tech or a magical item. And for $100, we can turn one of these PCs into a weird agent, which has its own sort of set of interesting abilities. And so those are the current reward levels. Should anyone wish to give for that, and now we are returning once again to the racetrack, a racetrack similar to but legally distinct from Pimlico in the area of Baltimore. We have just been we've just had a couple of our agents be run through by some sort of spectral being that makes the sound of a horse, and through banging something together that could be coconuts, but we're not completely sure what they are. They look like coconut halves at brief glance, but we only have seen them very briefly, flashing through them. And it is currently, we can't see it right now, but it is currently racing eastward across the infield of the track toward the other side. And we have a couple of our agents in a cluster in the middle, a couple more of them coming across. What are we doing?
I see a Juniper freaking out, so I'm just gonna. Dorian doesn't know how to handle like people. He's a office worker. He's better behind a screen, so he just goes up to Juniper. See, I guess you have an encounter, right? Here you go. He's reaching, he does his back, and then just puts a necklace around Juniper of all the different icons. That should protect you. And then he's gonna go after the ghost if you can. Oh, hunt this ghost down, and he's gonna run after it.
Okay, you're running after it. So you're trying to run and catch up with this sound, and I'm gonna need you to make an athletics roll for me.
Aha, finally, I have 4 on this. Let's go.
Aha!
That better be good.
Amazing! We finally get some mission tokens. So Nikki, something amazing happens as you are running after this being. When you run after this being, something amazing happens. 2 mission tokens worth. What do you think happens?
All right. So you said this specter is still walking around, like he's still visibly walking
currently
around.
Well, you can't, not visibly, you can only hear them, but they are currently, apparently, it seems like you saw for a split second a person on, not riding anything, on the ground banging 2 halves of what looked like coconuts together, but they are moving at the speed of a horse. They are moving at a canter right now.
All right. So Dorian is gonna run, and like Dorian is not the fittest person, desk worker, a bit out of shape. But in that moment, as he's sort of like running, he accidentally triggered his adrenaline, and he just starts like, and he just starts running much faster than he expected, and then he's gonna reach where he thought the sound, and he's gonna, in that heat of the moment, just try to tackle that invisible sound, and we'll
Okay. And so
see what
something
happens.
amazing happens. What amazing thing happens as a result of this?
Maybe
You
as
get to tell us.
maybe as he jumps forward, somehow he makes this specter loses his coconut,
Oh.
or at least one
Okay.
half of it. So all he can do now is just clap the coconut to his hands to simulate the gallop.
Yeah. So the timbre of the canter has changed. You've leapt forward as this thing is trying to reach the other rail. You've leapt forward, you grapple with something, and you come away, and in your hand is what looks like this strange, dried out half of something that looks like it's the shape of like if you would like slice a coconut in half, so it's like, or half a really big egg or something, but it's this half of something, and the sound, the timbre of the sound has changed. It's now like more just sort of a slapping sound, but it's going at the same rate. This, and you hear this kind of almost this cry of as this cry of anguish as it tries to leap over the rail. And you can hear it leaping over the rail toward the other side of the track. And but you've got this now in the hand, whatever it is.
Yeah, Dorian's gonna look down at it like a bit puzzled, and he's gonna shout to the other, I got something! And then we cut to a shot in present day in the interview and goes, oh yeah, I have it as a paperweight now. And then it cuts back.
Brilliant. What's everyone else doing?
I have, in a time that Dorian's done this, have made a very magically reality TV cut to both the minivan and then back to the infield where Juniper is. And I presented her with a pink monogrammed Dickies jumpsuit to replace the or actually a color of your choosing, but still monogram Dickies jumpsuit, monogrammed with like the Inspector logo and your initials on the back. And also I have managed to change my outfit into matching ones with my own name on the back of it. Think like the Ghostbusters outfit, but like not ugly.
Should have probably put that on anyways. Thank you, LL. And she's gonna try and put it on over her clothes.
Yeah.
We ain't getting naked in here. It's already weird enough.
Yeah. But I need an emotional. The horse furry got too close to me. I'm still not going anywhere by myself.
And Dorian took off running. You can't.
And Dorian took off running, and I'm not chasing. LL is too old for that. And to be fair, they're not that old. Like they're like if Brian is like 21, LL is like 25. She's not old in any way, shape, form, or any concept of the word. But when asked why she's not running after Dorian, who went chasing after the Spectre, her response will be to the camera, I'm too old for that shit. My knees aren't what they used to be.
Nice.
And then it'll immediately cut to a flashback of like, not a flashback, but like a bunch of like my parents' house with like a wall full of like track and field medals.
Parents are like, it's like they go and interview your parents later on at some point. It's just an insert, just them showing the medals. So we're very proud of them.
Yeah. Like I had a whole college scholarship for track and field. I just don't run anymore. I moved beyond the running part of my life.
That's awesome.
I don't chase things.
What is so then what is Brian doing while this is going on?
Oh God, I was muted. I think Brian was running after Dorian.
Okay.
And just as you grab the coconut, I just go,
Running is a young person's game.
So, how do we catch a ghost?
With our bare hands, I hold up the coconut.
Really?
Yeah, just reach for it and grab onto it.
So why do we have all these tools for?
I looked at it. Honestly, I don't know. And I'm just gonna clap Brian in both his shoulders. Brian, this is your chance to prove yourself that an intern can actually be useful. It's time for you to risk your life tooth and nail to bring this ghost in. Are you up for it?
It's gonna be cut. It's gonna be cut to a camera shot of Nightingale again talking to the camera. Nightingale does not and will never approve of risking the intern's life or death for whatever. This is not this.
The opinion reflected by Dorian do not reflect the opinion of our company.
Yeah. Like whatever, like the WWE before the wrestling thing, like
Like
awarding
our
thing.
employee handbook specifically says.
Uh-huh.
Like, this is not a reflection of the inspectors of Baltimore like office. We do not risk lives for dead things. The dead are dead and we are alive and we don't.
You know what? You're right.
Yeah.
Go after it.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
And I think he's just gonna take off in a direction.
a direction, any available direction.
I don't know.
I will tell you, the
which
sound has sort of
direction.
tapered off, but you all have this feeling like there is still something here. So where are you headed?
Well, you said basically the last thing we heard is that it sort of went towards like the other side of the track, right?
Yeah.
Is it as if it's leaving the place altogether?
Maybe it was jumping the railing. It was going, and then the sounds kind of tapered off when it got to the other side of the track. So it's hard to say. It might be trying to.
I'm going to. Brian assumes that in reality it's, because it's a ghost, right? So it's like forced to do whatever in their lives, right? So I'm thinking it's trying to just basically get back on track and run. So he's going to run the opposite way, thinking he can run into the ghost.
Ah, okay. So the opposite direction from the way that it would be running if it were continuing its circuit.
If it were like going back on the track, then I will go.
Ooh, okay. Ooh, let me think about this.
I'm trying to outsmart it.
Yeah, you're trying to outsmart it. So I think we'll give you academics on this one. This will be an academics roll.
You can never make an academics roll. Nightingale is stupid, but in the best way.
5, good.
Good.
Okay, so you're going to gain. You got a good result. You're gaining another mission token, and so something good happens as a result of your doing this. What do you think happens?
Wait, how many tokens are we at?
You're at 3 out of
3?
probably 10.
Okay, this mission is a 10 token thing. Okay.
Yeah, it's probably roughly a 10. It's about a 10 token mission. We're thinking.
Okay. So I think
Very depending on what time it is when we get 10, but we'll see.
Oh my god. Okay, wait. It needs to be good.
Can I give you the good thing?
It brings us. Yeah, sure.
I gave Brian when we got out of the minivan my super soaker because I couldn't get out of the minivan and carry it at the same time. So you are equipped with a bleach holy water filled super soaker.
Might or might not work, but it used to be holy water.
I mean, at some point it was holy water.
Because I think I need to make a roll when I want to use it, right?
Well, yeah. When you get to it, probably it's so something good is happening as a result of your running in the opposite direction on the track. It's not something amazing, but something good.
Also, everyone has a pocket full of salt.
As I run as Brian goes to run on the track, there will be, if you will allow me, a voice that comes out on the speakers. It is the voice of the ghost of announcers past, who's announcing the race with Brian in, but he's also announcing the movements of the other person because they're also in the race, right? The other ghost.
Okay.
So we can pinpoint where that
Yep.
ghost is,
Yep.
more or less.
Yep.
That's our good thing.
Let me quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, come on, Jim. Make a voice of a horse race.
Let me grab a
announcer.
thing real quick. If they just got to grab. All right. And we're getting ready to start here, and everyone's going to hear this here at Pimlico. We have what's Brian's Brian Friedman. We have a new entry. Friedman seems to be not sure what direction he thinks he's going. He seems as we're getting ready to get this race started in earnest. But Snowfeet is coming around the far pass. And it looks like they're going to be coming up to the start pretty soon now. Looks like they're heading up. I think they might be slowing just a bit as they're prepping to get at the gate.
Wait, where's the start at again?
So let's see the start. If I have it, let's see. Did they mark the start on this map? If not, I shall make it up.
Is it that red line?
Yeah, yeah, it's the red line. It's the red line opposite the winner circle.
Okay, is that the general area in which Nightingale and Juniper are?
That was you were a little Nightingale and Juniper are like in the middle of the infield right now.
Okay.
We started close to that because we were close to the winner's circle. And
Yeah,
that's
okay.
Yeah, that's where you were. And so everyone hears this voice quite suddenly. But I think that everyone's a little too. Yeah, we don't need to make another stress roll for that just right now because everyone's kind of in their own heads right now a bit, as they're doing these things. But yes, you can hear this voice announcing. Apparently, they're heading toward the starting gate.
Nightingale make a general jog towards the starting gate.
Yeah, there is no physical gate there right now.
Yeah,
they bring it out when it's
the general
time,
idea
but,
of like
yeah, but you know where it is. Yeah.
Well, okay. So here's the thing: Nightingale. I don't want to be running towards the start. I want to be running parallel to where I am, but in the direction, like onto the same side as the start. So like if I can't tell how north-south works on this map, but like if I'm at infield center, I want to run up towards where start is.
Yeah.
And all Nightingale's gonna do is start laying a line of salt.
Ah, excellent. Okay, so let's see.
So like if Brian is coming towards it and it's going towards Brian, Nightingale would be between the two of them.
Okay, all right. So let's see. So is it most important that you get the line right, or is it most important that you get there in time?
The line is right.
Okay, this is an academics roll.
Wait, what is it?
Which
Which one's more important?
Okay, What were my options again?
Are you trying to get is it more important? Now, I'm not saying you're going to get either of these wrong.
Yes.
But is it more important to get the line right, or is it more important to get there in time?
Remember that we have bonus dice that we can pick from our business cards, like library. And
You've still got no one's touched your franchise dice, but yeah.
Okay. Here's the thing. I need to getting there. The line needs to be right, and I also need to be there before he crosses the line. And by
if
him, I
you
mean
had
the
to
ghost.
prioritize one of the two as the most important of the two things,
I need
the
to
one
get
that you're leaning slightly toward.
Okay, so the line can be not crooked, but the line needs to be there. Like, it doesn't need to be a perfect line. I just need to get there.
You're trying to get there. Make sure you're there on the spot in time. All right.
Yeah.
Athletics, please.
Okay. I'm going to borrow. Can I borrow one of our athletics dice? We have two of them.
You can burn one.
Does anyone mind if I burn an athletics dice to make this line happen?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
All right. You're using athletics die from the thing. So you add one die to your.
Hey!
Amazing. So something
Purple
amazing
cuts
happens as a
back
result
to-
of your
to
running
her.
up here.
with our in the gym with the lightest weights.
Yeah. Because remember earlier I did say I did do track and field. I'm not a fan of running. I don't appreciate running. In fact, Nightingale is real mad that they are like vaguely like the idea of sweat is happening.
Well, you've got you as a result of your doing this, you get 2 mission tokens, which means we're about halfway there.
Oh, nice.
And so as you're running up and doing this, so what amazing thing happens?
I get there just in time to throw salt in its face.
Excellent.
Like pocket sand. Well, pocket salt.
Awesome. Awesome.
It's like glitter. Throw it everywhere.
Yeah.
Ah!
I did not get my line down, but they definitely whatever our Spectre is got a face full of salt, and this is payback for when it ran into me.
So you run up, you throw this salt in just the right place,
Yeah.
and you see this thing form, not right in front of you, but right next to you. This
I hate that.
being
Hate that for me.
with one holding one half egg shaped thing
Can I punch it?
in one hand and sort of
Egg?
desperately trying to thump it against his clawed hand in the other.
Can I take the
This
other coconut from him?
red-eyed creature that is covered for a moment in has his face in salt, and you hear this as it strikes him and throws him back for just a moment. You can still see him, this vague outline. It's fading, but you can still see it. I would, however, like you to make a 2-die stress roll, please.
Can I make a pickpocket roll as well? Can I use pickpocket? They're.
Well, let's do stress first, and then we'll see what happens.
I'm terribly stressed. It's fine. Ah!
Blasé. Apparently not. Apparently you're fine.
Okay, but here's the thing. I'm blasé about it because I'm mad. I'm mad because one, they snuck up on me before and scared the shit out of me. 2, because they made me run just now. I didn't appreciate that. Like, in any other circumstance, I would not be a blasé about. But like right now, I'm more mad about it. But
So, I will say that at this point, Brian is going to be probably getting almost up there. Enough time has been bought for that.
Brian,
Before you do your next thing, I just want to check in briefly with Dorian. All right, what are you doing at this point?
I think after I gave Brian the pep talk to make him like sacrifice his life for the good of our company.
again, this could be a cut. There could be a cut to the inspectors of Baltimore do not recommend and do not approve of.
Not approve.
At this point, I think it's just a sign that you tap every time.
Yeah,
Dorian
just
says
tap the sign.
something, you just-
It's true. It's true.
Dorian's statements are not necessarily reflective of Inspector's policy.
Everything Dorian learns
So the
about
Inspector
running a company.
Yeah, specifically Inspector's policy. Inspectors of Baltimore policy does not require you to sacrifice your life in the line of duty.
Yeah.
We will not give you death benefits if you do.
Yep.
So Dorian, what are we doing?
Yeah, so Dorian is actually gonna follow on. He'll let Brian run ahead first, and then he's gonna catch up, just jog after them with the bag of equipment that he still has, and I guess like halfway through he's gonna pull out another ring of religious icons, and it's like, oh, I should have given these to Brian as well since he's throwing himself right in there. So he's gonna run after Brian, come back, your protection.
Awesome. And I will just ask then again, what is Juniper doing right now?
So she would have seen. It's like, so she would have just been finishing up putting on the jumpsuit, and then would see LL just take off the others, and she would probably slowly jog after them, because now
You're $6 million manning it.
She like, okay, I'm wearing heels. I'm already wiped out. I'm a little frazzled. My hair is a mess. And yeah, she would probably like jog behind them, but she wouldn't try to keep up or make it there in time. She's just trying to get there. And while she's doing that, she probably got her clipboard. Dry cleaning. Oh, new intern? Question mark. And just checking up little marks of what she has to put on the bill.
All right. So pretty close in front of Nightingale, you see this spectral figure trying to continue. Can't clutch its face. Wants to clutch its face, but doesn't because it's still trying to make this rhythm against its hand. And that's slowly the figure is fading, but you can still see it, kind of an outline right now. What are we doing?
And are we seeing the outline because I threw salt at it, or because it's like?
It is likely because you threw the salt at it.
I'm gonna throw more salt at it.
Okay, more salt.
Just like I'm gonna salt-based sprinkle it on them.
All right, let's go with an athletics roll for this, please.
For gently sprinkling them with
well
salt.
Seasoned
Or for
goat.
gently sprinkling. You're trying to. Is there anything ritualistic about what you're doing right now?
I'm literally it's like you season a steak. I just want to keep them visible.
Okay, yeah. Well, this is still technically
Okay.
athletics because we're trying to. It's a control thing here. Yeah.
Okay. What is my athletics actually? Oh, it's 0.
Oh, it's 0.
Now it is.
Well, unless you want to. Unless you want to borrow a die, then this is going to be a 0 roll. This is going to be a failure.
Okay, but here's the question: what is a failure different from a 1?
It is different in subtle ways.
Because like a 1 is like something bad happens.
It's not a. Well,
Just take it.
Something bad is going to happen. I need to stress that there is no way avoiding that something bad is about to happen if you wish to take this. But it's entirely up to you.
Does anyone else think they're gonna need athletics coming forward? Does anyone else
You
have any
still have
zero
3
stuff?
bank dice, also, just as.
Yeah, but something
Can
bad
I-
can happen with the bank dice. I'm paranoid.
No, I have
No,
4
no,
in
use the bank
athletics,
dice, that's
so
awesome.
yeah.
Wait, here's the question: is Brian with us? Not Brian. Is
Everyone's here. Everyone's here.
Oh, so we're all huddled around this guy.
Yeah, they're a little bit behind you, but they're here.
Oh,
If I need to, I'll give myself a freaking $50 die. Take it and go. Run with it.
okay, fine. I'm taking the dice.
All right.
Remember, Juniper is
Yeah.
retired. She gets her retirement
Oh,
money.
something good happened, and I got a mission
Okay,
token.
1 die. All right. Okay, you rolled 1 die. You got you gain a mission token. So as a result of sprinkling this, something else good happens. Not amazing, but good. What happens?
Can I? If it drops its other calf of coconut, can I take it?
Sure.
I now have matching. We now have matching.
Yes.
We now have matching.
So
It's gonna be so mad. It's
Dorian,
sad.
So
we now
the
have
bee-
matching. We now have matching knickknacks
now
on our
have
desk.
matching halves.
Yeah.
You snatch this thing.
Let's
It's like more salt. As it drops out of its hand, you snatch it up. The other half of it's coconut.
Yep.
And you hear it gasping in agony.
I high five Dorian with the coconut.
Yeah.
As it's stumbling around, and this wave, the slow wave, rolls out as it begins to fade away. And you can no longer really you hear the gasp. You heard the gasp of agony, but then you don't hear anything else coming from it at this point.
Someone else
This
throw some
eerie
salt.
feeling.
Someone else throw some
Brian,
salt at it.
Time for you to earn your bonus.
Brian has been trained to.
Oh,
interact
looks
with
like
plants.
looks like someone's been throwing salt at Snowfeet. Looks like they're not going to make it too much longer. They seem to be fading out. We're going to have to go to the judges about this and see what they're going to do. Stand by. The judges are being consulted. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, we have to capture them. Wait, Miss Davis, do we capture or do we destroy?
Directions unclear.
I mean, he said get rid of it. Didn't say how.
And we start
rid of it?
Juniper and I start flipping through the paperwork trying to figure out the exact terms of
Okay.
terms of service.
Okay, whilst you're doing that, you're starting to do that. What's everyone else doing right now?
Yeah, I'll help with the salt. Oh yeah.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just I'm just helping with the salt. Like, well, it's like
Well,
distracted.
you can continue sort of distracting it, and you can tell you can barely see it at this point. It's like there's still a presence, but you can't even see a fully formed person right now.
Oh,
There's right now just there's a hint of a person and a sort of feeling of dread in the air.
I'm gonna use the magic kit,
Oh,
crime the
yes.
CSI kit, because CSI kits come with casting kit, where you can make like a cast of a footprint or something. So it comes with like
Yes.
powder, but we would need water. But we have that in the form of the super soaker.
It's
You
true.
do.
We do.
So I think as
All
like
right.
as we're like throwing salt at it, Brian, in a brief flash of not really knowing what he's doing, fetches in the bag, grabs the powder and throws it. And I think if y'all are okay, I would do a cutaway.
You gonna use a
confession?
confessional?
Yeah. Is everyone okay with it?
Go for it.
Because it's
Yes.
so it's just
Enthusiastic consent.
it's Brian, probably like at the back of the van, like from earlier tonight, when he was by himself, you know, and he just goes, "Yeah, before I joined in, I did some research on their methods. They have a manual online, so I read it, and I found a few ways to capture a ghost. I think I'm gonna make everyone proud when I do it for real. It can't possibly fail, can it?"
What could go wrong?
And that's it. Like, I'm not rewriting reality so much as that he somewhat knows what he's doing.
Okay, awesome. So, well, and then you've told me what I need to know, because that means that what you're doing is academic, is an academic pursuit. So you're going to be rolling academics for this.
Nice. I wanted to succeed real bad, and we have like 3 library dice. Could I use one of those?
Go for it.
Yes,
Do it.
definitely. That's probably where you got the manual from, right?
Yeah, no,
Probably.
that would make all the sense in the world, actually.
Okay, so you add that die to your academics when you're
I
rolling?
add that die to my academic, and for using the equipment, for using the MacGuffin CSI kit.
That doesn't actually add any dice by itself. It just in the fiction makes this possible. Makes this possible, and we
Makes
know
it
that
possible. Okay, cool.
there are magical possible things that'll happen as a result.
All right, 4 dice, no whammy.
Amazing.
Oh,
6.
Okay, 2
Hot
more mission
damn.
dice. We're getting close. We're getting real close, and so that means something amazing happens when you do this. What happens?
I think the powder, the entire cast thing, like actually works a lot faster than it works as fast as it does on CSI, which is not as fast as it does in real life. But in this case, oddly enough, in a few moments, that handful of powder that you normally have for like, you know, a couple of footprints maybe, is enough to coat this entire being in a layer of plaster that is then, you know, mixed with the holy water and solidified. And I guess we
70s
have
rock
a
is playing.
huh?
70s rock has to be playing while the montage of that happens.
And I think, yeah, I think in a way we caught it. We haven't gotten rid of it yet, but we caught it. It's right
Okay.
here. I don't know what it looks like, Jim. I'm going to leave that up to you.
Okay. It could be any number of things. So you've created this this plaster for. What does this look like? This plaster
wait.
thing?
Wait. No, I might actually have something.
Okay.
You said for the casting kit?
What is the? You said that you're forming a thing out of plaster, right?
Yeah, it's what is in it's the casting kits inside the CSI bags. It's basically plaster powder with
Okay.
uh
Are you
a
using it to
spray
like encase it
sealant.
like a statue, or are you using it in?
No, as
Or
a
is it like
statue.
just
Yeah.
form a circle, or?
Or
No,
are
no,
you
no, I'm
throwing it at it?
encasing it as a statue so that we have
Excellent. Okay. Did you have an idea
for
of what
the-
it looks like?
Yeah, you've described it so far as this malevolent entity that somewhat looked human.
Yep.
Could it be a reverse centaur? And that's why they were using the coconuts, is because they do not have hooves. And thus longed for an existence where they could make the clop clop, but they can't.
So, quick check. Everybody okay with that?
I don't know what that
Go for
is.
it. That's hilarious.
I have no
A
idea what
reverse
that is.
centaur would be horse's head,
Horse head on a human body.
human body,
I don't know what that means.
like a minotaur, except it's a horse's head instead of a.
I'm
instead of
scared.
a
It's
bull's
fine.
head. Okay, it's kind of like a hippocampus.
It's fine. It's fine.
sorry.
Don't worry about it. No, don't worry about it. I don't want to imagine it. Like whatever it sounds like.
It's
a thing.
BoJack Horseman. Like,
Oh, okay. That's
You know
still
the horse drummer guy on TikTok?
No. No. You're saying all these words and none of them mean anything. But I know what BoJack Horseman looks like, so I'm okay.
Like that.
there you go.
It's kind of like that.
But wait, doesn't he have horse hooves? Or no, that's the thing. That's the reindeer
No, that's
from
why he had.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
why
yeah,
this
yeah.
guy has the
Human
coconuts, is
hands.
because
Human hands.
tiny human hands.
Clawed
Like
human
that.
hands, but they're human
He,
hands.
he wanted to clop, but he didn't have any clops.
yeah.
So he's
I
making
did
them with
describe claws
coconuts.
earlier. So
Yeah.
it's
So,
clawed
Yeah,
human
that-
hands,
that
but they're
might-
human
that might
hands.
Be like, misshapen, like with
Human hands.
fingernails
Human hands
or-
with horse nails.
And you see this, and you see briefly, and everything is silent for a moment, as you see this statue that is formed of this creature in agony, this with this horse's head on a human body, as it's like it's a little shorter than a it's a little short. It's like in like 5'6" maybe 5'6", is sort of standing there like in this terrible. I can't do the expression properly because it is a horse, but you get the idea. It is baring its teeth. There's a moment of silence, and it's apologies for shorter than a basketball player, I'll say, than your average NBA basketball player. Anyway,
Look,
Of
I am
course,
shorter
of
than
course,
the average
of
man,
course.
so
but so I'm not that much taller than that at all. So this silence rings out for a moment, and then you hear, "Oh, well, the judges have come back and said that we're going to. Looks like Snowfeet is out, so we're gonna have to bring on the whole team and start the race in earnest. Team, we're gonna have to bring
God.
on all the competitors and start the race in earnest, folks. Here we go. And then there's this rumbling,
Oh boy.
this light rumbling from all around you. You're right in front of the gate.
Make a circle, everyone. Make a
And
circle.
you hear this sound. You hear this sound that starts echoing up from where the speakers should be, and it sounds like
Nightingale immediately starts the second she heard the broadcaster start talking, started laying down like a thick line of like salt around our feet. Like, listen, we can't get out of this, but like they will. Like, it's gonna be a mistake. Like Nightingale acknowledges, like in her head, they acknowledge that this is a mistake. That they're gonna be trapped in the circle with the horses on the outside. But you know what? They can't stay here till sunrise, so eventually they'll have to leave. And I can sleep standing
you're
up.
starting to lay this down. I just need to know briefly.
Uh-huh.
Is Juniper doing anything right now?
So probably dropped her clipboard because it was like dropped her clipboard like this was not in the handbook. And then I am thinking she just turns on this plaster horse and start berating whoever it is, whoever that ghost is, and it's just ripping him a new one. What the hell were you thinking that you're starting this? It's like, are you trying to get people killed? I mean,
Okay.
just like this
Let us
this
see
50-year-old
if you can
Karen.
shame these ghosts into submission. I will need, first of all, before we do this, I'm just checking the time. We might be able to go possibly 11 or 12 tokens, depending on how this roll goes, if folks are okay with it.
Yeah.
As we do have until like 10:30.
What do you mean? It's only
We'll see.
6:43.
So this is going to be a contact roll.
I help.
All right,
You want to help? Okay. So helping is a thing. Helping is a thing. Absolutely. So you're helping by making by pouring out the salt
And making disparaging remarks as well. In the
making
background.
disparaging remarks
About
Would you
furries.
say you're pouring this salt out carefully or frantically?
How fast was the other horse running? Like in terms of other horses versus people?
That horse, the fastest it got up to was a canter, which is on average, let's see, it's about 10 to 17 miles per hour.
For us
No,
Canadians,
carefully.
it's between 16 and 27.
For Canadian, yeah, 16 to 27 kilometers per hour.
No, I mean I don't drive, so like miles per hour means nothing to me.
Basically, it would be the equivalent if you were to get run over. It's the equivalent of falling 3 stories high.
Frantically. No, naturally, no,
Frantically.
carefully. Because
Carefully?
because we've already defeated one of these horse ghosts. I am no longer afraid of the horse ghosts. I am now annoyed by these horse furries, and I'm definitely calling them horse furries to their face.
Okay, all right. So
I know
if
they're
you're
not
doing it
horse
carefully,
furries.
you're
Yes.
doing it carefully. So this is going to be an academics roll.
God damn it, I'm stupid. Stop asking me to do things carefully.
Just had to know.
I have no academics. I can never do
Okay.
that.
Do you want to use a franchise die or no?
Do we have any left?
You
The
have
ones
2
in the
academics dice. You have 2 library dice, which go for academics,
Oh.
and
Yeah.
3 bank dice.
Oh, that's right. There's no contact dice. I wish I could use a contact for this. I wish I could use contact for this. It's fine.
And this is to help, by the way. So you're going to be giving one of your
Oh.
dice
Mhm.
to Vivacia.
Oh, so I can't give. Sorry, I misunderstood. I thought I could give her one of my contact dice.
Well, no. You're going to be giving one of your die results from this roll.
Oh,
So you're
okay,
gonna
okay.
roll, and you're gonna give me whatever the best
Okay.
is. I
You
guess.
give her one of those dice.
I
That's
apologize
how
in
this
advance
goes.
for whatever this roll is. It's a 3.
Okay, so that's going to be a 3. So we know there's going to be a 3 in the mix when Vivacia rolls this. And now, Vivacia, remind me, did I tell you what to roll already yet, or have
You
I
said
not?
contact.
Contact? Yes, that's right. You're berating them,
Yes,
All right.
I am trying to out Karen. The biggest.
and they can
Karen.
see that the salt is being poured. So go ahead and if you would make your contact roll, please. See, okay.
And I'm getting the 3 from her, so it's. a
That's
3.
right. So it is a 3, which means there might be one silver lining in the bad thing that is about to happen. What do you think is about
I
to
am
happen?
thinking that the other horses would hear me yelling and kind of shy away from us because horses don't go towards loud noises.
Okay. Okay.
So
For the most part, you are not trampled, but everyone hears the dreaded sound of a gate clacking open and a bell ringing as the sounds of many hooves or things like them, possibly coconuts, we're not sure, thunder around everyone, and a host of spectral horse people passes through you all. I would like us I would like I'd like everyone, please, to make a stress roll. It's going to be a 4-die stress roll for this.
Oh God.
But I did say they shy away from us. Wouldn't that take more dice away?
Oh, it's not 5.
Oh.
Oh,
God,
This is
Alright.
many supernatural creatures all around you.
But are they all horses? Yeah, we all had like a complete another. Yep.
They are all horse people.
Oh, God.
Remember, Nikki, you have 1 cool die, so that protects you a little bit, maybe.
Oh yeah. How does it work in conjunction with stress?
So what did you get? Did you roll yet?
I rolled a
You did.
1.
You got a 1, but you're protected from that. You have instead of 4.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Because you have 1 cool die, so it gets that 1 lowest result out. So you have a
Alright.
4. You're annoyed. You will have a 1 die penalty to your next roll.
Okay.
We have, let's see, and then after that we have, let's see, a meltdown, and stressed. Juniper is stressed, so Juniper is just going to lose 1 die. Everyone else, there's going to be,
oh, I just lost
that
4
means-
dice.
yeah, 4 die loss. As these things thunder around and almost through you. None of them thunders through you,
I feel the pain.
but it's a crap load of supernatural creatures immediately around you appearing. How are we reacting? What are we doing?
Okay.
I having a complete another meltdown. I have.
So what does this look like, I should say?
Brian runs out of the circle and towards the
Ooh.
van.
Yeah.
Probably by pushing also a cameraman or a camera person outside.
It's
of the
like you're running
circle
toward
as
the
well.
camera. It's like,
It's like
this shot from the camera beginning.
You're doing so well. And then we fucked around and found out.
And I think Dorian, after getting annoyed by this, is like, oh, this tumbling around is like, oh, this is just a Tuesday work day for him. So he's like, all right, time to banish all of these ghosts back. And then he's gonna again take out all of his ring of various religious icons. He's gonna take each one individually and start saying one holy phrase of that religion, like bring out like the cross and like Jesus Christ, hallelujah, amen. Bring out the other one and says the other one. Think of the third one.
You are
And-
attempting an exorcism. We will get to that in just a moment.
Yeah.
I just want to check in again with Nightingale. How are we reacting? How are you doing? What are you doing?
Nightingale is. Is holy water flammable? Is bleach flammable?
Bleach, I think, is.
Yes.
It's a mean chemical, so yeah. Might eat the plaster too.
That's okay. Question. See, it's one of those. This is a dumb idea, but Nightingale's having a
That was the best
meltdown.
kind. Those are the best kinds of ideas. But
Can I call someone? Can I phone a friend?
yeah, I mean, if you've got if your character is it's gonna probably take you a second. I'm gonna let just for the meta here. I am gonna let Dorian roll first
Yes.
before anything happens. But I'd like to know what it is you're starting to do.
Nightingale's having a meltdown, and when Nightingale has a meltdown, Nightingale calls for assistance. And they would like to phone a friend, and this friend would be someone who can.
Someone who knows what to do.
No, not someone who knows what to do. No, this is a bad idea. I'm phoning someone to question whether I need to know if I have a cousin who is either holy and or in demolitions, because we're just burning this place to the ground. We are just exercising this whole goddamn building. Fuck it. They can build it up. They can build it up again. I guess it's not a good idea. It's not a helpful idea. It's
Well-
if we set it on fire, fire will cleanse this place.
Fire fixes
I think
everything.
that with what we have learned, or rather specifically not learned about Nightingale's background, I think it could be we could easily say that is a thing that you would have access to.
And the thing about it is, whoever I'm calling, like, it doesn't matter. They are one of two types of people. They are either in demolitions or they are a religious figure. Doesn't matter which. In fact, they might be the
Either
person
one sounds awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, but while witnessing Dorian's attempt to exorcise them, I'm like, we need a bigger team. We need a bigger exorcism team. We don't need like one person isn't exercising fast enough. We just need to like cleanse it with fire.
You're pulling out that phone. You're starting to make the call.
Yeah.
Is Juniper doing anything?
Did Brian, before running away, did he take the toolbox with him, or did he leave it?
No, I think he dropped everything on the ground.
Okay, so she would have probably be so stressed that she picks up the toolbox and tries to hit the entity in the plaster, if she can reach it without leaving the circle.
Ooh, okay. So you're trying just basically,
Just like swing it,
wailing on it.
pick it up because it's a toolbox, and just swing the toolbox at it. Like she's hitting it with her purse, but it's a toolbox.
Okay. So as we proceed, I need to know. I'm going to ask Dorian in a moment to make a roll to try to exorcise these folks. It is. I could see either Nightingale or Juniper's actions as trying to help, possibly. Actually, it feels like you're all sort of doing things independently right now, but we could. Actually, I think I was thinking on it. Nightingale's. It's like unless you get a piece of advice during this right now, that maybe you might get a piece of advice. So one of you might be able to.
Entity.
I'll say one of you might be able to help on this roll. I'll say one of you might be able to help on this roll.
I have a question about the construction that's happening.
About the construction?
Yeah, because you said the reason why this whole thing started was because the guy came to do construction. Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing construction.
What kind of construction are they doing?
Right now they're digging up some things near the eastern parking lot.
But they're not like demolitioning anything, are they?
Well, you haven't seen any demolitions equipment yet, but you haven't gone and looked yet.
Okay.
They dug.
Okay, continue.
In their greed, they dug too deep.
That's what I'm thinking.
Maybe. So does one of you want to contribute through a helping roll, or do you want to just sit back and let it see what happens with Dorian?
Well, I mean, I could do it as a helping role, since it will distract.
Okay.
Because it's not really going to destroy it, but it's going to distract it.
Sure. Well, at least this one, so which is in the best position to see what's happening. So that's going to be athletics, because you're trying to physically harm this thing, and you can give Dorian one of your dice.
All right. Well, I only have one. That's okay. He can have the one that I got.
Righto. That'll leave you with 0, which means whatever it is, it's not going to distract it necessarily, but it might a little bit. Fair. Okay, so there's going to be a 4 at least. Okay, ready? Dorian, are we ready for this?
Yes.
I need you to roll academics.
All right. I think I'm gonna take. Can I take the final public library dice for this?
Go for it.
Yes.
Okay,
You can even take the bank dice if you want.
If you want.
But I don't know how to justify the bank for this one.
Well, where did you get all these? Where did you buy all these things?
Oh, yes, true. Yes, on eBay or an Amazon, just spam by like a shit ton. Wait, so I
eBay,
can take-
Amazon, Etsy.
Yeah, every single
street
site I can think
vendors,
of.
Youwish.com.
Yeah.
So,
Symbols.
So how many bank dice are you using?
Yeah, I'll take one bank dice and one library dice.
Okay. The last die in the list that shows up on your roll will be the bank die.
Okay.
Just so we'll know. And then we'll consult the table.
Yeah. And
All right.
yeah,
so you've got a bonus of 2 dice, right?
So
yes.
yeah,
Because of what you.
Yeah, and then the -1, so it brings me
Add
to
it to
4
your-
dice.
That's right. That's right. So it's
Yeah.
so up 2, down 1.
Yes, and so basically Dorian is basically saying every single like very generic lines for all those, and then I guess it will come to modern day again, and Juniper tap in the sign below the one about the internet is we do not endorse Dorian's blatant disregard of other people's religions and creeds. He just
Now
pans down.
There's a chance of making 10 with this, so this might solve the whole. This might be for the whole ball of wax, possibly.
Yeah.
Because
This is not an authentic, representation of anybody's religion.
Yep. Oh my god, this is actually
Do
not
not
that
try
good.
this at home.
Yeah.
okay, so you've got a 4,
Mm.
which you had a 4 from the other one as well. So a fair result. So this means there's a mostly positive result of what you just did. This hasn't solved it, but there's a mostly positive result, but you must also include a negative or humorous effect. So
Right.
what happens?
So as I'm just like blabbing all these different mishmash of like exorcism, a bastardized version of an exorcism, I'll say it affects some of the spectral horse people that are like running all around us, and maybe it thins out the herd a bit. But those that remains started screeching and started like doing this extremely discordant neighing sound that sort of like I guess stabs into our eardrums. It's just this cacophony.
Yeah, this cacophony of
Yeah.
and that sounds like. Wait a minute. Let me look at the. That sounds like new play. Sounds like Quan has got everyone named. This one's going to be pretty close to call as they're coming around the far pass.
Oh my days.
And it's so now it's like everything's kind of shaking a bit. Some of them have peeled off, and just when they get to the far side, the eastern side, some of them just bolt off into that parking lot out there. and are running eastward. Roughly in the direction of the hospital.
He said to get rid of them, and they are definitely off of the racetrack now. So that's one part of our job done. That's a voiceover from a future dialogue, and in the post-mortem for our for the episode that we're doing, and it's like they can't be mad at because they just said to get rid of them off the horse track. They didn't say anything about keeping them out of the city. So I can't say it was a job well done.
Well, we weren't
You
hired
have
to save the city.
You have thinned out the the runners.
The herd.
Well, it's sort of a herd, except they're all competing. That's the weird thing. So you've thinned them out a bit. So there's about like maybe half to 2/3 of them left as they're running around, and they're all being affected by this chanting that that Dorian is doing. And so now let's see.
How far has Brian gotten?
Yeah, that's my next question. Brian, you've been running out to the parking lot by the western parking lot by the clubhouse. What's going on there?
Well, I think once he's far enough away that the noise and the galloping of horses is just like a distant sound, Brian is gonna sort of breathe a couple times and gather his thoughts and realize that he left the entire company probably to die, and in desperation will look to the only thing that he can think of that could be used as a weapon against or a wall against the ghost horses, and he sees the van with the keys in the ignition.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not supposed to play with anything that has oil or grease in it due to
not if it's leaking.
It definitely has been leaking.
So he's going to tear a piece of his like the sleeve of his hoodie off and make a bandana with it, like a headband.
Oh my god.
As he starts muttering like a 1980s rock song. Very off key. Probably final countdown, but that I won't do here.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And he's gonna hop into the car, and his what he envisions is he will heroically drive across the entire thing, trampling the flowers, trampling, destroying the grass in the circle in the middle, probably breaking fences. And he wants to park like sideways across the track, open the sliding like side door, have everyone come in, and then drive away, which is probably not going to happen because he is panicking so much. He only has one die in everything.
Excellent. Oh, okay.
I'm here.
So I feel that I'm going to come back in a moment to Nightingale to see how the phone call is going.
Okay.
But first, I have to see what happens here.
Nope.
So Brian, I need you to make your athletic. This is going to be athletics.
Okay.
It's driving, but it's athletics because you're using this vehicle as a weapon.
Yeah. We do have bank dice.
You do have bank dice. Oh, that's right. A bank die was used. Thank you for reminding me. The last roll was a 4. Let me just look real quick before we go further, so we can see how many bank dice we in fact have. Bankroll chart 4, account withdrawal, no benefit or penalty. We just lost the die that got used. Okay, that's fine. So same number of bank dice if you want to use any.
I'm gonna use only one.
Okay.
So that's
that'll be the last die that comes up on your roll.
Yep.
Amazing.
6.
So
bank
actually,
die.
while I've got it in front of me, let me resolve the bank compound interest, return the die, and add a bonus die to the bank.
Oh, nice.
So put 2 dice back in the bank, and something amazing happens. This is going to solve the problem.
Good job, Brian.
Because I think we're going to keep it. It's after 10 p.m., so I think we're going to keep it at 10 dice if that's all right with folks.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is going for the entire lounge suite, as we like to say. What amazing thing happens as you pull up?
Wait, can I help? Wait, I'll tell you after. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Certainly.
Here's what I had in mind.
Mhm.
The only thing that Brian's going to do that's amazing is how he's going to take everyone, put them in, have you all climb into the van and leave. I want to leave the destruction to your phone call.
Yes. Perfect.
Nice.
So it's just Brian who basically, swerves in and out, probably causes a lot of destruction of property on the way there. Skids to a halt on the dirt track, making sure that that they're gonna have to fix it. Slides open the door and just extends a hand out to the crew, and of course he looks straight at the camera because it's his moment, right?
Yeah.
So slides it and goes, "Come with me if you want to live." Bringing it back to the Terminator thing from earlier.
Of course.
And yeah, there's probably smoke coming out of the engine already for some reason. But the lift is here, so I guess we're going to be safe. And the destruction of the ghosts is one phone call away. Okay.
So you have managed to create this rift in the track, as it were, with this van dripping oil behind it.
Yep.
I kind of envision that the oil somehow plays a role in this.
Oh, it does. It does.
As it sloshes out after you hit the rail, the inner rail, and comes across. Maybe it's a line they can't cross. We're not sure. What? Tell us more about this phone call. What do we feel is happening on this phone call?
So my phone call, I have discovered 2 things. In my meltdown, I called the number that I had called last, which was the cousin I borrowed the van from.
Mm-hmm.
And I sort of like rush explained what had happened. And they went, well, good job. Good news and bad news. Good news? The oil is whole. It was blessed. There was a miscommunication with someone about blessing more holy water for your office. And they accidentally blessed the oil for, because remember I mentioned we only had like one jug of holy water. So in my knowing someone, I was gonna get more holy water, but they accidentally blessed the wrong thing, and they accidentally blessed the oil for the car.
It was like the crate of oil oil liters that you had. Sort of just you happened to position it next to the water.
Yeah, well, actually, no, more specifically, they blessed everything they blessed all the bottles that were there. They're just like, whatever. Weird cousin called for a favor. Not gonna question why you want the car oil blessed, but I'm gonna like bless I'm just gonna pray over everything. So when Brian comes in, but the bad news is this oil is terrible for the car. That's the actual it's not. It's a lot thinner, and it's definitely not meant for like power. Like it's not the right kind of oil that you put in a car. So they were glad I was calling them back, but they're like, in this case, if you need holy fire, you got some. So I have decided, and Nightingale has decided this unanimously, with not consulting her teammates and the rest of the staff. But Brian shows up with the van in this perfect time, and has left this giant oil trail. And I'm just like, you know what? They filled out the insurance paperwork, so I can set that on fire, and their insurance will pay for it.
Is he going to drive in a pentagram first? So we light a pentagram on fire?
There's no thought. There's no thought. There's just everyone get in the van. And everyone gets it. I get everyone, Juniper, Dorian, get in the van. Brian threw the door open, and as we're like getting in the van, as I'm closing the door, I just like take like a lighter, like a regular big cigarette lighter, and drop it on the pile of oil that Brian has left behind us, and I was like, drive.
Well, Juniper's right. You're not supposed to be driving. You gotta avoid our insurance.
Listen, don't worry about it. The van's gonna like Nightingale is aware, like 100%, that this van is not gonna make it through the rest of this night. Like the likelihood of us but it's just like make a big enough oil enough pile to burn this entire place to the ground. Because as far as Nightingale is concerned, the dude filled out the insurance paperwork. His insurance will cover any and all damages that we incur to both our own property and the property of the haunted location. So that's why we made him fill out the paperwork beforehand.
As you pull forward, and I kind of am envisioning this thing where you're going to just break through the rail and cross the infield. As you've crossed this line of holy fire, spreading in two directions, both after you and back toward the parking lot, crosses the field. As you're steering forward, and you kind of hear sort of echoing in the background, "Oh no, someone's throwing a line of holy fire on the field. We weren't expecting this. We really weren't expecting this sport to be full contact, but it apparently is tonight." As you see these people leap forward, and you hear this "Rah!" for a moment. Wait, you don't see anything happen to them. You don't see any no visible harm seems to come to them, but they vanish. Some of them as they reach this wall, and they cannot pass. They cannot continue. As you hear this, you hear this loud. They've gone up. All these thundering hoofbeats running round the track. It's gone up from a canter to a gallop. As you're driving this line of fire across the field, as you see some of them behind you, and you're like, "Ah," and vanish as they get close and are turned away by this line of fire. You break through the far railing as a couple of the stragglers are trying to get there, and they too turn away and vanish. You go over some very bumpy road as you find yourself careening between a couple of these long barn-like horse stall buildings that you come out through, break out around through a parking lot that has construction equipment in it, swerving back and forth. As you see up on your right, a couple of the other stragglers running vaguely in the direction of the hospital. Who's driving right now?
Brian.
Is Brian driving?
Me. And he's just gonna look over his shoulder to the camera, and we'll just cut very quickly to like a post escaped Brian back at the office, who just goes, "In truth, I never had my driver's license."
Wait, what?
But you don't know
Never
that
had
because he's
a-
gonna say that
never had a driver's
after the
license.
fact.
Yeah. No. That's the interview later.
Yeah.
Quick question. As we cut back to you driving, are you going to try to cut off the ones heading to the hospital, or are you just going to let them go?
They're ghost horses, right?
That wasn't in our
They're-
contract.
They are
Yeah,
not
I was gonna
horses so much as horse people, but they are
Horse
ghost.
people.
They
So,
are
you know
spectral
what?
hippocampi, if you want the
Then-
technical term.
Then it's fine, because then the hospital is gonna have to hire us to clear the hippocampi out
See,
of there.
this is the kind of
Huh?
initiative and thought that I want.
Business.
Yes!
That's true. You're ensuring
bam.
future business. That's thinking like a paranormal
First.
investigator.
Nightingale loves it. Nightingale LL thinks this is exactly the kind of mindset and business that we want for our future employees, and especially when they get promoted from an intern to like front desk attendant.
So
I think the word is
if you look at
assistant or clerk.
Clerk.
you think, nah, you drive on. Hopefully before the flaming oil slick catches up with you. I feel like we get this another drone shot as you pulling off. And are you taking the highway back by any chance, or are you going
Yes.
side streets? Taking the highway back. This line of fire arcing, following you across the highway.
I would like to say that Nightingale attempts to put out some of that fire by spraying it with holy water. The problem with spraying
Well,
it with
you're
holy
gonna-
water, it's got
Well,
bleach
you're going to
in
run out of oil eventually.
it. Yeah, that's really what's gonna happen.
Not great for the engine, but you can drive it.
And,
Listen,
and you
this
know,
car-
because
this
we
car-
have the speed, we're gonna roll away from the end of the oil, so we're not gonna explode.
Also, to be fair, Nightingale is already in their head. In their head, decided that they're gonna write this van off in their insurance for this job as a
Oh, absolutely.
And so they're gonna buy a
This
new
is-
van, a brand new non-oil leaking
Yeah.
van.
And the with the added bonus is that you now have blessed the inner lane of I-83.
Yes.
So
And as we're driving, is Juniper, you know, got her clipboard again, and she keeps marking more stuff. Van, toolbox.
Itemizing the things that we need to invoice them for later on.
Yep. And then you probably get the flashback to her sitting at her desk later, and she has like a big old pile of papers in front of her, and she's like, I'm about to hand deliver this to them so that they can make sure that we're getting paid on time.
No, you cash on delivery. Mail first class mail it to them. Or no, what's the thing where you have to sign when someone hands you a package, like when you get served by a lawyer?
Oh, yeah, like the bailiff.
Yeah.
coming in there.
Yeah.
that's the that's being process server
Yeah.
does that typically. So yeah, summons. There we go.
Yeah, but we wouldn't do that the first time. You know, she would just show up in person with all her Karen-ness and ask them to write her a check straight away.
Yeah.
No,
No cash,
understandable.
cash only. No checks. Checks bounce.
Now she would cash
So-
the check, but you
That's
know
true.
they don't
Yeah.
have to check. They don't have to cash on hand because we destroyed the track. They won't have to cash no more.
I'm pretty sure.
No,
I'm
of
pretty
course
sure
not.
horse tracks run in cash only.
Well, they certainly have a lot of it about. So as we're winding down here and preparing to dial out as the this episode of Inspectors is starting to draw to a close, we're going to go back around and we're going to have one more little montage where we're going to, again, see each of your characters doing something as sort of the last thing we see of you in this, in this, and we'll have one more little interview spot as you get to tell us how things came out for you. And you can do that in any order. You can intersperse little cutscenes if you like. You've been doing this the whole time. So this is like near the end. This is the last thing we're going to see of your character in this in this show. So who wants to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first this time. Yeah, and yeah, so as we cut back to, it's just gonna be we will do the interview first, and it's just Dorian saying, and he goes, yeah, and so we solved our first case, and it's all thanks to our intern Brian. It makes me realize the value of interns. And it cuts to several montage of Dorian at his generic office workplace, hiring multiple interns and offloading every single work he has to them while he's sort of like chilling his desk. And then it cuts back and goes, yeah, you know what? I think we should get more interns. They deserve work. That's the end of it. And then I get a quick cut to the sign. We do not endorse Dorian's treatment of interns on the wall.
The views of Dorian Kwan do not represent the views of Inspectres International or Inspectres Baltimore.
Yeah.
There's
Awesome.
there's a sign that says interns are people with feelings too, and we respect that.
Nice. It sort of pans down to that and holds on it for a second. Who's next?
And I'm thinking, as that fades out, as he says, yeah, we should definitely have more. In the back, you see Juniper, with a little box in her hand, walking over to Brian, and she, like, with all the fanfare that she has, grabs out a little thing that has his name on it, and it says front desk clerk, and she's gonna give it to him like she's giving him a trophy, or it's the best, and she's like, there you go, Brian, you're officially one of the team. After you celebrated for 5 minutes, please come sign the paperwork with me so we can get you on the benefit plan.
From behind Juniper, Nightingale, like, this is unrelated to the closing scene, throws like a jumpsuit at Brian, similar to the one that I gave Juniper earlier. Again, whatever color you'd like. Again, monogram with your name on it. Not monogram, like stitched with your name on it. And I also throw one at Dorian as well. Like, we got paid. I got us work uniforms.
Nice. So who has the spotlight for their end scene now? Who's
Juniper, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm thinking it kind of Brian can describe what Simon can describe what Brian's face looked like after that. She'll turn around and go to her office and sit down, and she'll look straight into camera and says, yes, and this is how you promote from within. And if you would like to join a growing company with very good benefits now that we finished this job, and the promise of that we promote from within, please call us at this number. And the number will show up, and then she will say, we might not hire you full time straight away. You have to earn your keep, but we're always looking for interns.
Awesome. And who do we see next as our ending montage continues?
I can go next. It's just Brian dressed with his like coveralls, his Dixie how did you call it again?
Dickies
Dickies.
jumpsuit.
Dickies jumpsuit.
Dickies are a brand. They make jumpsuits, painter coveralls.
Okay. They make a lot of work clothes.
Okay. So he's got his jumpsuit on, which is probably, I don't know, in his case, probably like baby blue. But because it's Brian and it has to have something, his name, the the monogram.
No, like fully stitched. I mean, that's supposed to be a
fully
monogram.
stitched- Yeah, that's it. The stitched name has a typo in it, and it says Brain instead of Brian.
I'm sorry,
and
that's my
no.
fault.
He's clutching his nameplate that that Ms. Davis gave him, and he's just looking at the camera and like vibrating, and there's just like a tear comes down his face, and that's it. That's all that it is. Like wild-eyed, shaking. The end.
Nice. And so no interview piece. That's it. That's all we see.
Oh, I mean, they could keep filming for 10 minutes. He's not going to say a
He's
thing.
just gonna
He's
be
like in
like,
shock.
I think for a second you just hear the director off camera, Brian, are you all right, Brian? Brian, and there's like no response. He just keeps.
If you were to download that excerpt of the episode and then play it in a sound processing software, you would hear a very high-pitched squeal coming out of him, but it's so high-pitched the human ear can't really pick it up.
Maybe there's like a little disclaimer like you have in these cold cases where it says, "Oh, what happens to people afterwards?" You know, Brian was fine.
Yeah.
He was just happy.
The little black text.
Yeah. Nice.
The
Brian went on to become Supreme
little
Court
black
Justice.
background with white text.
Yep,
Yeah.
saying Brian was in
Brian-
fact fine.
Brian was in fact fine. Awesome. And we end with Nightingale.
So it's gonna end with Nightingale. They're doing so. I'm supposed to be doing my exit interview, like the recap post-mortem interview. But instead, she has chosen to do like a car salesman show for the new minivan that she got at the office. It's been professionally wrapped with the Inspectors of Baltimore logo with our phone number on it. And it's still the thing about it is, because of the amount, so Nightingale will turn to the camera and be like, because of that, despite the fact that we did in fact get paid for the entire job and we could have afforded to buy a whole brand new minivan, it became financially prudent in order for us to be able to pay both Brian for his new promotion, and it cuts to Brian crying, clutching the jumpsuit. We instead chose to repair the old minivan, and we decided to make the leaking oil a feature, not a bug. And like there's now a button that you can press, and it'll now deliberately leak not carbonated oil, but like regular oil, like regular holy oil. For future cases,
And it's labeled. I know it's labeled.
and in fact it's labeled. There are in fact two sets of keys that are like in the office. There's one by Brian's desk. It says Brian's keys.
Do not use.
Do not use, and then there's the shared office keys, and then there's the keys that I have, even though the fact that Nightingale does not in fact drive. But they're mine, just in case I have to drive, and I'm mad about it. And then Nightingale will be like, and we recently picked up a new case involving the hospital next door to the train station. I have no idea what could possibly be haunting them. And like I say that with like a completely straight dead face, but you can taste the sarcasm in that statement.
Perfect. And if that's it, then we roll credits. That's Inspectors, folks. Thank you all so much for playing. That was awesome.
Yep.
I love this game. I love seeing what folks do with it. So we are now at the point we're going to come around and do our outros. And so folks can feel free just to let us know where we can find you. Feel free to plug away. And if you have a little bit of a final thought about the session, that's fine. I think. So we're gonna go counterclockwise from the way we started. So we will start with Simon.
Oh, all right. Hi everyone, I'm Simon at Wandering DM. Thank you for the game, Jim. It was awesome. I really had a lot of fun. It is my first time playing Inspector instead of GMing it, and Yeah, it's quite different when the onus of improv is on you as the player, whereas reacting as the GM. But it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. You can find me normally over on my channel on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 8:30, and 1 p.m. All times Eastern. On Monday, we play Vampire the Masquerade. We're currently in between seasons, so it's like our little one-on-one interludes. We have one this week. We have one next week with the Haunted House, and then there's a break, and then we're starting season 4. On Thursdays right now, I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3, like everybody else, with Jacques of all trade, our little French gnome who's taking 1 level in everything. And he's awesome. He's currently a world-renowned neurosurgeon, as he thinks he is, and he can't fail any check. That's the rule. Whenever we fail a check, he somehow forgets that it's been failed, and everyone's wrong, and he's the worst person in the world. And then on Saturdays we play Scion. We are currently in our last demigod arc, so nearing the end of this like 2.5 year game now. That's it. That's me.
Very cool. Awesome. Thank you so much. And now on to Vivacia.
Hi, I'm Vivacia, or Vivi. You can find me as Vivacia pretty much everywhere on Twitter. However, I am MRS Vivacia. I have actually tomorrow we are starting the premiere on Girls Run This World, where we are actually using the new system Fight with Spirit, which is from the people who did Good Society, and it's basically about sports. And we are a team that is competing in America's Ultimate Dance-Off. So that is tomorrow on Girls Run This World, starts at 8 p.m. EST. And the beautiful Anne is running it. I'm really looking forward to that. And also, this was my first time playing it, and I knew it was going to be chaos because Imani was here. But
Rude.
no, truth. And that I loved it. I loved it. It was hilarious. This is like, seriously something that should be an episode in like an animated show or something. Yeah.
Awesome.
That's all I got to say.
Yay. And speaking of Imani, we'll head over to Imani.
Hi, I'm Imani. I don't exist. I'm not a real person, as you can't tell from the little picture. I'm on the trash fire burning garbage place that is Twitter still, because I refuse to move to another social media platform. So you can find me in Val's Discord if you need to see me. Theoretically, I stream on Twitch, but I haven't in like a year. But I might go back to that. I don't know. I make games. You can find them at Margaret Catter Dev on itch.io. I do still do that. I just don't do that in real life. But that's about it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was Nightingale was delightful. It's very cool.
Oh yeah, I still have a Twitch command. There are places that don't exist anymore. Actually, it's funny. Not a single one of those links works anymore.
Damn.
No worries.
No, it's just I'm not a real person on the internet anymore. Like, I don't exist. Like, not a single one of those things works anymore.
No, we all go through phases of non-existence every now and then. I know I certainly have been on one. But before I say any more about myself, let us head on to Nikki.
All right. Hello, I'm Nikki. You can find me on all social media platforms that exist as NixNat1, with the number 1. And you can also find me by that handle on Twitch, where I occasionally stream the games that I run for my group. We are next Wednesday going to be playing through our final session of my Kids on Bike game, What Lurks in Creek Hollow. So we shall see how that goes. And yeah, that's about it from me.
Awesome. Thanks so much for playing. Always have fun playing with you. Thank you so much for coming in and trying this out. I very much appreciate it.
Yeah,
and finally, thank you so much. And that leaves me. I'm Jim Ryan. I'm a writer, streamer, and podcaster. I am Other Doc on Twitch, Blue Sky, the site formerly known as Twitter, and a bunch of other places. Anywhere I'm not Other Doc, I'm Jim Yes That Jim. I have a website at jimyesthatjim.com where I've got various older podcasts and things and other audio thingies. Right now, I've been taking a little bit of a break from streaming tabletop RPGs on Twitch. I will be getting back to it soon, I think. Normally when I do, it's usually indie stuff. So hopefully that'll be happening again sometime in the near future. Thank you all so much. This was the first day of the marathon, but there is more to come on this channel tomorrow morning, starting at 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern, with Magical Kitties, followed by Candela Obscura, and rounding out the evening with Mass Effect. Please remember to tune in. Thank you all so much. I'd still, you might want to look in considering pledging, because everything is going to help the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. And again, as a reminder, it is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, so it's going to be going toward that more specifically. So feel free to pledge at the available link. Does the voice of the Almighty have anything they wish to let us know at this time?
I was looking for, I thought I had found someone to raid, and then I didn't, but now we do. We're going to go ahead and raid the Lollygaggers, which is just playing some Delta Green, it looks like. But yeah, we're going to go raid them, and all that good stuff. Again, thank you everybody for coming and showing up. And we'll see you bright and early at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Wave. Bye.
I'm
You're
waving
great.
emotionally.
Ciao,
Wave
everyone.
with your emotions.